here for you. Mind if you say prayers 1 minute?
Under my power, look into the hypnotic eye. Time now to enter Mr. Lobo's domain. Look out! Open your mind to the possibility that they're not bad movies. Under my power, look into the hypnotic eye. Time now to enter Mr. Lobo's domain. Look out! Open your mind to the possibility that they're not bad movies, just misunderstood. You're not dreaming. You're watching cinema. Insomnia.
All right.
That was a good one.
Testing. I see Paul's got all the knobs turned off. Let's see here. Here's the mic. It's going. Are you hearing us now?
Hello? All you...
Check A, check B.
Do you smell smoke?
Audio is now go.
Yay.
Sally is, we're still waiting on Sally right now. We've got Smokey the Bear
Hi.
in the house.
Sally's not here right now. It's just Smokey the Bear.
It's just Smokey the Bear. Smokey's going to keep the studio from burning down while Mr. Lobo goes to California.
That's right. And if you hear loud noises, and it's not a party, and I'm not inviting the whole forest. It's just me trying to make sure there are no fires.
No fires. Now, Smokey, you do smell like an ashtray. Is that how you smell all the time?
Well, you know how those fires kind of start?
Yeah.
Well, I'm on probation, super secret double probation right now because maybe, possibly, I may have been starting a few dozen fires.
A few dozen fires? What?
Yeah,
so this is how you know why a lit cigarette can burn down a whole forest.
Yeah, something like that.
From firsthand experience. So you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, but I'm a reformed hypocrite.
Reformed hypocrite. Okay. All right. Hello, Fanger. Yeah, stressful job. He's one of those firefighters that start their own fires, right? Hey, it's Sally, the zombie cheerleader.
Hi. I kind of ate the bear.
Why not? And why not? So someday the bear eats you, and some days you eat the bear. And if you're a zombie, you can eat that bear.
And someday the bear drags you away, and then you got to fight for your life and sew new body parts on.
Now, what kind of thread do you use to sew body parts on?
I use the kind of thread that sews.
Okay, that makes sense. Very loose thread, then.
Yeah, pretty much. I just pull it and watch it unravel. That's pretty much my whole life.
So we're here now. Sally has got a lot of things going on, but she's staying in the general part of the country.
Yes, I am.
But Mr. Lobo's going to California for a long time.
Don't have a map, but pretend this is the country, and we're here. So Mr. Lobo's gonna go all the way over here, somewhere over here. Yeah, near the wrist,
near the Bengals. Near the Bengals.
That's right, near the Bengals. He's gonna see the Bengals.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Now, what did they do? Was that walk like an Egyptian, or no? That was them.
They walked a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess is like this. Sort of culturally insensitive. I don't know if that song would get so big today, perhaps. Maybe not.
I don't know. They did it poorly anyway, so
they didn't do it very well. No. Will Mr. Lobo, what is it? Hey gang, just got back from Kepler 609c, and boy, my sense of reality is tight.
You too?
Oh man. California, the land of weed and cats. Oh boy, my hay fever is gonna really be acting up.
Cats. Oh, can you put me in a bag? I want to go play with the kitties.
Oh boy,
I'm
gonna be doing a lot of hiding and dry cleaning. Just another manic Monday. Is that the Bengals too?
I believe so.
Oh.
Wish it were Sunday.
Yeah, that's my fun day.
That's a fun day.
I don't have to run day. Oh, this chair wants to die. Okay. So we're not going to do a game today. I figured we would be fully engaged with you.
You got to talk to him?
Fully engaged with you, since this is our hello, Robbo. Since this is our last time with you at the studio for a while. In May, you're going to Comic Palooza. You're rapidly sketching some updated Michael J. Fox inspired characters. Oh, he's going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Very cool. Hope you get to meet him. I see Miss Monty and Chico and Ms. Mavis and Agent Chet and She-Hulk.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Phyllis.
Robin Phyllis. Chico. Chalky Milks. Yes, you're going to miss those Chalky Milks when we're gone. But, Chalky Milk time is every 10:37.
That's right.
Internationally, Eastern Standard Time.
Chalky Milks are up to you now.
Yeah.
For at least 2 of the 4 Saturdays in May.
Yeah. Now you're going to come back and be here a couple Saturdays for us?
Yes.
Okay, so Sally is planning on being here. I had a piece of paper, the 18th and the 25th.
Yes.
Saturday the 18th and Saturday the 25th. Sally will drop in here and run the stream. And then we also, Paul is going to be here on the 4th, and he is going to be playing some Mr. Lobo Star Wars content. So that will be fun.
And on the 4th, I'm going to be in Silver Spring at the AFI Silver Cultural Theater to watch Count Gore host Forbidden Planet.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm sorry I won't be here on the 4th.
Wow, I'm kind of jealous. I'm going to be at the Psychotronic Film Show though, out in California at the Foothill College, Los Altos Hills in the Bay Area. So if you've never been to a Psychotronic Film Show and you want to see Mr. Lobo in California, this could be an opportunity. Or if you want to see Sally and Count Gordeval on the East Coast, you should get to the AFI Silver Theater in Maryland, at Silver Springs, Maryland, and see Forbidden Planet.
Yes, on the big screen.
Or if you can't do any of that, hang out with Paul and watch a bunch of Star Wars related Mr. Lobo material with Paul here on Twitch.
Yep.
So there's lots to do for Insomniacs, even though I won't physically be here in the studio. But I will be back, I think, first week of June, I think, is our target. So it's probably going to take us 5 days to get across the country. We want to stop in Michigan. I want to see the hot dog place. I want to see Jeffrey Allen Arnett's stomping grounds.
Yeah.
And meet some fans there. I want to see Ohio. I would like to drop through Ohio if possible. I definitely would like to drop through Chicago. Maybe visit Sven. Maybe see Jeff Carlson. Maybe see Mitch O'Connell. Maybe see Jamie Lee Curtis. Whoever wants to see Mr. Lobo. Mr. Lobo in a slave bikini. How did the conversation get there?
Wait, what did I miss?
See,
I think they found out you have a bikini back there.
They lure you in with the space bikini, but then they hit you over the head with the
That's right.
Ewoks. Sally, one of Mr. Lobo's fans, thought he recalled that you were streaming live Friday nights at 7 on YouTube. I couldn't find anything. I messaged you with questions. I guess your day job keeps you very busy. I think she just streamed briefly to make an announcement.
Yeah. I unfortunately I did it quickly. I would love to on Friday nights, but sometimes my Fridays get bad too. But I was down in Virginia this past Friday.
Balted says Mr. Lobo does Return of the Jedi. Oh, that's the space bikini. Now I get it. What part of Michigan? I would say probably closer to the Detroit area. I believe that's where the hot dog place is.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll do anything with Creature Features team Vincent Tangella Livingston? They film on Thursdays usually. I will probably reach out and say, hey, can I drop by? But if they may already have someone booked to film with them this Thursday. I am coming back up through the Bay Area before we go across the country. So after we're done with our job in LA, that might be another opportunity to be on Creature Features. But I've been on 3 times with Vincent and Tangella and Livingston. Livingston and Tangella really should be the hosts of the show.
I won't disagree there.
But yes, I love Vincent though.
Yeah. They're all good.
They're all good folks. Yes, good family. They're in our Creature Features family. I can tease them.
Oh, the Donners! I remember them so well. Sorry. What? Too soon?
Too soon. My great-great-grandfather was one in the Donner Party. How dare you?
I'm sorry, but he was real good. I mean, he was real good to me, back then. Stuff. Anyway.
Will you see John Stanley? I am going to make an effort to see John Stanley. That is one of the people we want to see. Dr. Sarcophagi and Dr. Bob are going to be at RavenCon. Any chance of you attending RavenCon? I know that Count Gordeval's at RavenCon too. Mm-hmm. I have not been invited to do RavenCon, but I would like to do it think I've done it once a long time ago with Eric Miller, if I remember correctly. But
I would love to. I guess I have to reach out to someone and say, hey, see if I can do a RavenCon next year. That would be
speaking
fun.
of cannibalism, weren't you talking about running the big bus at some point? I mean, the movie, The Big Bus? I mean, we could. Well, since Sally ate me in a past life, apologize for me making you temporarily go daffy for a short period. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So yes. So anyhow, so that's what we're doing. We're saying our goodbyes. We're enjoying this because I really enjoy my time with you folks. I am gonna miss doing this. Oh, you're getting a little verklempt.
Sorry, just dirt in my eye.
I am gonna miss seeing you folks on a regular basis. I am gonna try and get real good at live streaming from my phone. So you may get to go along on my trip with me a couple of times if I can get my phone working properly. And Paul wants to sort of bring me in remotely when he's here, so we're gonna attempt that as well. So you hopefully won't have to go cold turkey for your Mr. Lobo fix. You're gonna miss us too.
Or cold fleshy.
Cold fleshy, yeah.
Of course, room temperature fleshy is okay.
It is our time, isn't it? It's definitely the Insomniacs time. I feel like our numbers are growing. Things are happening. I mean, this LA trip could change everything. You never know.
I'm crossing everything.
Mr. Lobo could save Hollywood.
It needs a lot of saving. You know, like original ideas. Original ideas.
Where are you going to see us? In California? I hope so. I'm thinking if we get it, because we're going to probably be working 6 days a week, 15 hours a day on this movie. But I think we get 2 days off at some point that are together. So I might try to do a Insomniac meetup on one of those days.
Ooh.
But also when we're done shooting the movie, when we wrap the movie, before we leave LA, we'll find a coffee shop or a video store or a something where we can all hang out.
Oh yeah, you could do kind of like, what are they? You can go to a Lunkin' Lonuts.
A Lunkin' Lonut? I don't think they have those in LA. Is that the LA version of a Dunkin' Donuts?
Get
is
your
the Lunkin' Lonuts?
Get your clausies, and then you could post. Let's all just we'll send them a Soniac, and we'll go down and we'll sit there and we'll take over the Lunkin' Lonuts, and all of you can go there and do the oath and la 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 and get lots of chalky milk, because I hear at the Lunkin' Lonuts they have truck chocolate milk.
It'll be like one of those, like an old fashioned flash mob that we used to do back in the aughts. You remember the flash mobs?
I remember the flash.
We put on the tinfoil. We go all show up at the park at the same time and put our tinfoil hats on, and everybody was confused.
It's a Lobo lash lob.
The internet was fresh and shiny, and so much nicer to be around. What's wild in Baytown? They're opening a Dunkin' Donuts / Baskin Robbins hybrid. Interesting.
Donuts and ice cream.
Donuts and ice cream. I mean, a scoop of ice cream on a donut might not be bad. Man, what are these noises? I don't know.
Ice cream makes my tummy hurt.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's not the ice cream's fault.
Yes, it is.
Did it always make your tummy hurt?
Eventually.
You just ignored it for a while because ice cream's so good.
I know. It depends what you put in there. I mean, if it's on a fleshy.
What about do you? Yeah, that's right. Because you can't eat people food anyway.
No,
so I don't know why you're
exactly.
so disparaging.
Exactly. Unless you put the people into people food,
Yeah.
and then it's okay.
Yes, to put the people in the people food. Now, if the people eat the people food, then you can somewhat enjoy the people food secondhand.
That's true. It depends on what they eat,
Mhm.
or they drink,
Mhm.
or they smoke. You know, sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't remember. All depends what the heck they're doing. And I do a lot of weird stuff these days.
Sally's got that osmosis game figured out. Mr. Lobo, if you get a chance when in LA, drive to Torrance and go to Stewart Ing Books. Trust me. Stuart Ing Books. Okay. You may have to give me that info again. It's true, says Money Left. If Sally freezes the eyes, she can call it eye scream. That's great, Fanger.
Ooh, eye pops. They're the best. Not that I've ever made them before. I've heard about it.
You've heard about it, yeah. There's a cool spooky themed coffee shop in LA called Horror Vibes. You should definitely check out while you're there. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to tell me where that is, Spectre Man. It's a cleanser and a dessert topping. Yes, Horror Vibes in NoHo. First time chat. Trauma GG. Oh, what's over happening? Would you read YouTube and see what they're saying over there on YouTube while I'm looking at this? Just found you last night and now you're leaving me? Enjoy the trip. Love the content. Well, we're not leaving you for good.
Mr. Lobo's not dying over there.
No. I do have this weird lump. I don't know. Probably should have it looked at. But I think that what's happening is Mr. Lobo is got a gig. I'm leveling up. So I've got a job to do in LA. I'm gonna try and meet some Insomniacs and get meet some people I've been trying to meet for a while I'm traveling. And but it'll only be a few weeks. Paul is going to run the stream on Saturday nights. Sally is going to jump in there and host the streams with Paul on some of those nights. And then we're talking maybe even Tim Caldwell was talking about maybe trying to take over Wednesdays somehow and host cartoons. Or maybe Jesse could jump on Mondays or something, you know. We'll see how everyone's availability is. I mean, you could maybe do a stream from your home.
I could, yeah. That would be neat.
So we won't let the channel go dark. We'll try not to. But we also will try to keep you informed of what we're doing. I'll try to upload videos just from my phone, and I will try to let you guys know. I think Patreon, I'm going to try to really put most of my all the dirty deets on Patreon while I'm traveling. That'll be one consistent place you will be able to know what's going on. Funny enough, it's right across the street from my favorite movie theater. And what is your favorite movie theater? Is it the Cine Family? What's your favorite movie theater? I'm just delighted Mr. Lobo and Aaron will be helping Paul Bunnell with the movie. He wanted to invite Sally, but she can't help tasting the fleshies in California. That's true.
Yeah, they're kind of spicy down there.
I think the Army has got they've got a giant picture of Sally with the.
That's the other problem.
With the X going through it.
Yeah, I've been disinvited to California.
You cause one zombie outbreak. And they never forgive you for it.
You infect a couple of flashies, and then you cause a zombie apocalypse, and they just hold a grudge against you forever.
Spoiled sports.
Yeah.
So it's 10:21. We have a Chalky Milk time coming in about 15 minutes. So have your cups and your beverages ready. This will be our last Chalky Milk time until somebody does a Chalky Milk time. I mean, Paul might do Chalky Milk time.
Paul could do Chalky Milk.
And Sally could do Chalky Milk time.
Yeah.
Or maybe I might just pop on live on a random day at 10:37 Eastern, which would be what in California hours? 7:37.
Yeah.
So it's maybe 7:37. I might pop on and try and have some Chalky Milk. Who's messaging me on Miss Mitten's phone here? Hello, it's Alyssa. I can't Twitch this evening, but I have my calendar marked this week. In case you're in Sacramento, you have gifts for me. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to go submit Smitten's mom.
I like gifts. Gifts are cool.
Gifts, especially when they're for me.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of gift. So I guess we'll have to see Miss Mitten's mommy. Be great. And then Mike Niter popped up on the. Now, did you read anybody over here? Did you see everything over on YouTube?
I think it's McKay.
I guess Mr. Lobo is dying. That was that one. Yeah.
Too many bad movies.
That.
Yeah. Wish Mr. Lobo, and to a lesser extent, Aaron, a very successful LA trip.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Gil.
Yeah. Okay. I'm wishing Mr. Lobo, and to a lesser extent, Aaron. Wow. Slap in the face for very successful LA. Yeah.
Lobo.
Oh, I'm jealous. Aaron gets all the cool gifts and stuff. He got another Transformer in the middle of the day.
Oh, he's so lucky.
I don't know why they just lavish him with like fun gifts.
You find any neat zombie
I guess
stuff?
they know he has to work with me, so they just spoil him.
He does. He needs a lot of help.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so I guess they're just talking about coming over to Twitch. Other than that, it doesn't seem like a lot of action over there.
You can count on me.
Oh no! You know what?
You killed my
Smokey. I had to grab. Didn't mean to reach over. Grab the hype button. We're having a hype train right now, everybody. That means people are motivated, activated. They're subscribing. They're giving their gift subscriptions to people who don't have a subscription to the channel, and they're using their qubits. Because why not? I'm going to be gone for a while. Spend your qubits while I'm here. Appreciate me now. Avoid the rush. Qubits. 100% of level 1. Goodbye. We're leaving the station of level 1, and we're entering, going on the track. This big sign says, 200 miles to level 2. Chuck.
Hype!
Uh-oh.
You broke your hype button.
There it is. We
It only likes me.
Oh, look at this. There's you want to push the hype button?
Oh, I gotta touch a button.
Mixmaster Jam over here. So Holly McGogger is spending her lucky Shamrock qubits. And Agent Chet's dropped 100 qubits. Thank you, Agent Chet. I'm sure we'll be having a coffee together, a damn fine cup of coffee together in California here in not too long a time.
Spyro TK, just subscribe.
I'm a bit poor throwing virtual pennies here. That's okay, Spectre Man.
It's okay.
It's all right. You can do some nice fan art for Mr. Lobo for when I get back. It doesn't always have to be about the money. Give us money. Don't stop giving us money. After we had a lot of people help us. We beat our goal for our LA trip. If you still want to drop some money in our LA fund, it's cinemainsomnia.com/LA trip. And then Spin Master Scott just dropped the link for Johnny X, which is our current Blu-ray, which I will be shipping to you as soon as I get back.
Ooh.
I tried to get as many packages out as possible. Again, Paul will be here. April will drop by. So if there's something you absolutely need to have before I get back, and I missed you, then if you don't get it within in a few days here, contact us, and we can still try to get you your thing. But I literally did about 15 hours of packing and mailing this week to get stuff out the door. It just wasn't enough time.
The stock, you should buy stock in, post office, because you would be a millionaire as much as you mail stuff, I'm telling you. Post office stock.
Gotta make that work for me somehow. Are you doing a convention, Mr. Lobo? Is there one I should do? I'm doing this. I will be appearing at the Psychotronic Film Festival. I don't think I'm not necessarily hosting it, but I will definitely be at that show. I'm hoping that we could find like a cool video store or record store or collectible store,
or comic book
store that wants to do a signing or appearance with Mr. Lobo. Mm-hmm. I packed about I would say 60 Blu-rays. I think that's probably, I don't think I'll sell more than that. So I'll have some Blu-rays. I'll have photos with me. I'll have some of my buttons with me. So if you do see Mr. Lobo and you're like, hey, Mr. Lobo, I want to buy some of your stuff, I might have it with me. So just ask. Join Mr. Lobo at the Psychotronics Film Festival, May 4th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Los Altos Hills, KFJ supporting KFJC. Great public radio.
93%. Come on, level 4, 93%.
Yes.
Come on.
Come on. You gotta
Do it.
subscribe. Use your qubits.
Do it.
Be like
It's
Make
almost
My
there.
Monkey and do a gift subscription. Or perhaps
Qubits.
actually Make My Monkey might have done 8 gift subscriptions.
Qubits. 93%
and
still
then
at 93. Come on.
Black and White All Over did 2.
94%.
94, just that's that much. That's all. Holly McGogger is making
Thank
it
you,
rain
Holly.
with some cute.
99. Ah! Smokey is happy.
I think we broke level 4. The confetti is falling. We're leaving the station. The hype button is being depressed, and I'm a little depressed.
Oh, don't be depressed.
I hope I don't screw this up.
You are going to be fabulous.
5. We're entering level 5 country. We're already at 53%.
53.
53. Uh-oh.
69. No, 70. 70. Come on.
Okay, so it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. We've got 70% of level 5. And all you got to do is subscribe or gift subscribe or use your qubits. I guess those are the only things you can really do.
Come on. You can do it. Smokey has faith in you.
In the Bay Area, reach out to Atlantis Fantasy World in Santa Cruz. Yes, I should do that. I really have a lot of people I still need to reach out to. This whole month has blown by so fast. I mean, just moments before going live, I was still throwing stuff into a suitcase.
He was. I saw him. 77%. Come on now.
I'm not ready
Smokey's
for
sad.
anything, but we're gonna make it work. 77%. That's about it. I think we're done, or maybe we're not. Oh, Fanger's still spending his qubits.
78%. Oh, look at that.
You just
Very
received your Johnny X Blu-ray. Love what my dad said about you leaving something on my car. And I said, what? I'm not sure what that means. What? I'm saying what? Holly, did I leave something on your car, or did the UPS guy leave something on your car? And why would he do that? Holly McGogger, thank you so much, sweetheart. You are the best. I Heart Horror next year, right? We're going to do it all over again.
Holly.
82.
84. 85.
85.
Come on.
So we've got 2 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock. 85% of level 5. Can we do it? Should we do it?
Do it.
And why not? We're Insomniacs, damn it. We can smash this level 5%. What do we need? How much math is that? 15% more?
15%. You got it. You can do it.
So, re-up your subscriptions, or again, give a gift subscription, or spend your qubits. What are you saving them for? They're good as cash in here. It's like cigarettes in prison.
86. I saw that. 86.
We went to 86%. Very good. Thank you so much for spending your qubits. Make My Monkey is still our top donor tonight, all by Black and White All Over. And I think Fanger might be spent the most qubits, perhaps. Looks like. I don't know who's the SP. I don't know who these different. Do you know who these people are? Are those people?
I think
or
so.
they're just amounts of qubits?
Yay!
Yay! Hip hip awooga. Yeah, my horn. I don't know where my horn is.
Wait. I know where it is.
You do? Hip hip awooga. Hip hip awooga. Look at that. The talented, the resourceful, the beautiful Sally, the zombie cheerleader. Hip hip awooga. Hip hip awooga. We have 19% left. Or no, we're only 19% into level 6. 4 minutes have popped up on the clock. 4 minutes on level 6. Hopefully we can make it. Miss Geek is still spending her qubits. Thank you, Miss Geek. You're a lovely person. I hope we have a nice time at a coffee shop or something down in LA.
34%.
Rahena, is that how you say that? Am I saying that right?
Regina?
Really, please give me a pronunciation on
Regina?
Your name. Oh, I hope not. I don't know. I think we've just been banned. I think we just got kicked off YouTube with that. Streetlight Records in San Jose might be a good place. Yeah, I guess some place where someone gives a damn, right? If you ask them and you say, yeah, I think Mr. Lobo might be able to do a signing here, and they say, who? I guess that's an opportunity to educate them, but more than likely, they probably won't be that excited to have me come and sign at their shop. Yep, Sally sent 27 qubits. Is that true? Oh, look at you. You sure did.
It is.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Sally. You're on the inside and the outside somehow.
Sally's everywhere.
Everywhere. Hmm?
Oh, how do you, was it Bugsy over in YouTube wants to know, how do you earn qubits? I think you have to buy them on Twitch.
I think you have to buy them on Twitch. Yeah. And I think it's like I don't know if they're like a penny or something, because I feel like thousands of qubits get dropped and it ends up being like $100.
Prince Everlove said, Sally is a burst of fresh air. It's pretty much right. I'm a burst. I just burst in everywhere.
It just explodes all over the place. We have to zombie-proof the studio, because usually it's like everything ends up getting chewed on or broken.
I touch buttons. I like to try to break things.
Dark Delicacies in Burbank. Yeah, I think Aaron sort of knows Dell. I've never talked to the gentleman, but I think maybe between Paul Bunnell and Aaron, maybe we could try to get something happening at Dark Delicacies. Ooh. I know they always have signings there, so maybe they could squeeze us in for 2 hours.
Yeah,
on a Wednesday. I don't know, just at some point, so that we could just tell our people, hey, we're gonna be here, and please come, so it's not embarrassing. Thank you. Watched the whole movie after talking to Mr. Lobo, taking the Mr. Lobo pledge, then posted a 10-star review on the IMDb. It probably counts for more because it's not part of a cluster. At least I hope so.
Oh.
Thank you for voting us up on the IMDb. We haven't had reviews on the IMDb for a while. So if you want to write a review on the IMDb, I think we have a solid 8 out of 10 rating for our series.
I didn't know you could rate on. Well, I guess you can, obviously. I might have a 0 right now.
I think I don't know if they voted or not. I think they have to give you some stars. I don't know how that works. But in the beginning, when we had a lot more saturation, we had a lot more activity there. Like when I was in syndication and we had a footprint of 45 million homes, we had people giving reviews on the IMDb. But lately, not so much. So if you want to boost us up over there on IMDb, why not?
That's boost, not burst.
Yes, don't burst
don't
it.
Burst
Don't
burst them on IMDb.
And if you see any opportunities anywhere, like if you want to update our Wikipedia or whatever, give us a good Yelp review. What Letterboxd? Can you do our shows on Letterboxd? Why not?
Probably, yeah. I can get a Yelp review. She didn't eat me. 4 stars.
4 stars. I escaped with my life.
She let me live.
It was so great. All right, Hype Train success, everybody. It's all over.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Thank you for joining
sweet.
us.
It's probably my only rating.
Oh, Brian Troutman but now your average is 10 out of 10, right? If you only have 1 rating,
that's pretty true.
You got a perfect score. Your average rating is now 10 out of 10. You received a level 4 Hype Train emote. So did we not quite make 5?
No, it's a shame.
Really? Wow. Okay, well,
so
for a Monday, not so bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Thank you.
I guess I should go away forever. Maybe we'd do better.
I'll try to hype you when I'm here and you're not here. Well, make sure we get a Hype Train so he comes back and I can tell him he got a 20 level.
Oh boy. Well, I hope you guys hype up Sally when she's here. Anything on the internet as old as anything on the internet as old as IMDb has ratings. I see.
Thunderstorm.
What are these things, mesquite little bees? We're getting a scary thunderstorm here. We're not, I don't think.
It's quiet on
I
YouTube.
think that's just someone moving garbage cans.
Probably.
The Frida Cinema in Santa Ana is a groovy venue that loves horror and cult films. A friend of mine is in their in-house Rocky Horror Shadowcast. You might have some appearance luck there. Okay.
Oh.
We'll have to like create like a message board or a spreadsheet or a something. Maybe we'll try to, I don't know.
Past Chalky milk time.
What? It's Chalky milk time.
Yeah.
Hold on.
1 moment,
4, 3, 2, 1. Hold on. It's Chalky milk time.
Yeah.
Chalky milk time.
Felix the cat time.
Oh boy. How did this happen? Now we're over here. Oh no, we're not. We're not.
We're fine. It's
fine.
okay. Everything's
okay.
fine. Nothing to
Everything's
see here.
So where's the Chalky milk?
No.
You don't have Chalky milk?
Wait. This?
Sally, these are just markers. These are great. I mean, they're expensive. It's like $2,000 for like 20 markers, but I don't think we can. I think if we were to drink these, that would not. No, this is glasses. This is to clean Mr. Lobo's glasses.
Tastes good. Makes you see better.
Oh no!
Give it 20/20 vision.
Is it finally come down to rusty tap water for us?
I think we have to have rusty tap.
Oh gosh! All right. Well, Chalky milk is not necessarily always about Chalky milk. I have my Perry White cup. Sweet maple walnuts. Where's the Chalky milk? Jimmy, get in here. Where's Kent?
And I have my rusty tap water. Sweet rusty tap water.
Sweet rusty tap water. So I guess it's finally come to that, and it's this thing I always said: if you're allergic to chocolate, if you're allergic to milk, if you have almond milk, or you've got hot Dr. Pepper, or horse and milking, or human blood, or whatever.
I ain't no Dracula.
You want. Zombies don't like blood?
Well, now I kind of drained it out.
How about brain fluids?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Or brain fluids.
Sweet maple brain fluid.
Or whatever you have, even rusty tap water. It's not what you're drinking that's important. It's who you're drinking it with. And we are sharing in this time together. So if we can wish upon it, it will be Chalky milk time, no matter what it is. So I am going to put my rusty tap water in my Chalky milk cup. And
Mine's extra rusty.
It's gonna taste delicious because I'm drinking it with good friends.
Mine has a nail in it. Does that count?
Oh
I think
no!
I might need a tetanus shot after this.
This one is. Oh,
it's spraying a leak.
This has a crack.
Perforated.
Someone cracked my Slurpee cup.
Oh no! Poor Perry White.
You want to get me another cup that is not this cup?
That's not peeing on you. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Sweet maple walnuts. I'm incontinent, Jimmy. Get some Pampers in here.
You know what's gonna happen.
Kent, don't sit on my desk. It's moist. They're all over. Look in the utility room. The room next to the bathroom. Your nation, the mighty river that flows. Your nation, the stains that lid to your clothes. Sitting, standing, or with one leg raised, the feeling of your nation must be praised.
Don't forget to shake after you're done.
Oh, God. No matter how much you shake, it just falls over your pants anyway. All right.
Oh, dear.
Perry
White sprung a leak.
These rusty tap water times we're going to laugh at these rusty tap water days.
That's right.
When we're enjoying.
That one leaks, I'll just die. No, you just spilled it on yourself.
No, I just spilled it on myself. There we go. Another Perry White cup.
You like my socks? I was too lazy to put my shoes
holding
on.
its water. It's all your fault. It is all your fault. Oh, that's fetching. This is the.
You want to see my socks?
Right. You want to see your socks? That costs a lot more cubits than you guys have.
Yeah. Yeah, tap water was so rusty it just bore a hole right through Perry White.
That's right.
Right down to the core.
Why do my kidneys hurt, Jimmy?
Too much iron. I've got gout everywhere. Got gout in my nose. Got gout in my toes.
Oh, God.
Got gout in my tongue. Tongue gout.
Lois, don't come in here. I'm all gouty.
Don't feel gouty.
Don't feel gouty. Be with us next time for Perry White's leaking news. Yes, hilarious.
PA water is very hard.
Yeah. Not quite as bad as San Jose tap water, but pretty close.
Great Caesar Scout.
Probably not as bad as I'm sure they got some fierce tap water up there in Michigan.
That's just leady.
It's just straight lead.
It's rusty lead.
Yeah.
So we just have the rust. It's true.
Wellington 2000 says, yes, water is hard.
Arr!
San Jose stands up and salutes. Salute! Oh, boy. I have never had a cup leak so bad.
But is it bore a hole through Perry White hard?
The whole back of Perry White is split open like wet pine.
Yeah, what kind of party were they having while you were gone?
That's what happens when you leave these cups alone together. Madison Water, this is in Wisconsin. Maybe we'll get through Wisconsin. I don't know how. Maybe that could be on our if we don't have to go too far out of our way. I'd love to see Josh Hadley.
You can get some cheese.
Get some cheese.
Horsin' cheesin'.
Gout touters.
Gout clusters.
You can pick up San Jose's water with a magnet. Yeah, you sure can.
Ooh. Makes it easier to flesh out the fleshies, right?
Know that
bring
from
a magnet.
experience. Madison is a beautiful town on an isthmus.
Between on an isthmus.
It's beginning to look a lot like isthmus.
Everywhere you go.
What are they saying over there? That was just asking about the Bugsy Malone was asking about qubits.
Yep. They're quiet over there right now.
And then on Twitch, I think you have to buy them. Is this the same Bugsy Malone that recently purchased Gassy Love of Johnny X from us?
Ooh.
And was disappointed that it wasn't the longer cut of the movie? This was Paul's preferred cut. He says, you know what? I like it like this better. I think it moves better. And honestly, we gave him the choice. He said, you can put whatever you want on that second disc.
Won't touch Utah tap water. It has floaties and it's gray.
It's got floaties.
What kind of floaties?
What kind of floaties?
Asking for a friend.
Tell me about the viscosity.
Yes. Why is this so gray? Is it gray matter? Tell me.
We got a lot of talk about liquids tonight.
Well, bodily fluids. Precious bodily fluids. And apparently they're gray.
Yes. On Twitch, I think you have to buy them. Oh, this is still they're still talking about qubits over there. Did we scare all the people over on YouTube?
I think they felt ignored, so they went to Twitch.
All right.
We love everyone on YouTube.
We do. It's just, you're just new. We just don't know how to talk to you yet. We're shy.
We got to split ourselves.
Yeah.
And we could do both.
Join the Cinema Insomnia's mailing list and stay up to date with Mr. Lobo news and events. CinemaInsomnia.com/mailing list. We also have join our list, right? That also functions, right?
Scott Boundy wants to know if there's a drawing tonight. No
drawing tonight. I'm not going to do any drawing. No game, no drawing. You're lucky you're getting chalky milk. I almost put the kibosh. We didn't have chalky milk. We had rusty tap water.
We only had rusty tap water.
I decided I wanted to be fully engaged with you since this was our last night together for a while.
Black and white all over. Hi, Sonny.
Hi, Sally. We can't wait to see you in just a few days.
Ooh, you're going to be down in Silver Spring?
They think Sonny thinks you're coming with us.
I would love to. If they
Yeah.
put me in a bag. I mean, I would fit in.
We're allowed an extra carry-on.
Yeah. Just don't tell them what's. Just say it's.
Or maybe you know.
Processed meats or something.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll let it pass.
I don't know if there's a corpse in our bag though, we might get stopped.
That's true.
TSA. Yes, but Aaron, you'll be seeing Aaron and I soon. That's true, Sonny, and Sally will be here with us in spirit.
That's right.
When I was a kid, my mom would include a slice of water for lunch.
You got slices of water too? Wow.
Mr. Lobo can do an air drawing. Yes, that's right. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go.
I can do one too. Let me see.
Actually, I'll draw.
I'll be the ghost.
Here. There we go. Nice heart. So you know when Aaron is producing by the presence of pants. That's right, because Paul is that pantsless producer. If any of you listen to the podcast, the very first episode, I think Paul was wearing cargo shorts or something, and I was saying, "You're not wearing proper pants." So we just started joking that he was pantsless, and then that ended up being his.
You mean it grew legs and walked away? No.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We ran up the flagpole and everybody saluted. Oh, Hacksaw Haney, why are you tooting? Don't toot. Try Beano. Maybe that will help you. The water is so bad in San Jose when you pee. It's like silly string. Oh, God. What a mental picture.
Fleshy is by string. I don't know.
God, hilarious.
So my question is, if you get a UV light, does it glow?
Oh, God. Oh, no. God.
The imagery will never leave your head now.
I always wanted to do I'm sure someone's done this in a movie, but you have the police who got the black light, you know, and they're in the hotel and they're looking for whatever, and like one of the cops has just got it like, all over, and they can't say anything, you know. Everybody's like, they can't even look at him, you know, and he's just got it all over his face and down his front. I think that would be hilarious.
Talking about tooting.
See, it's all steered toward tooting.
No.
I don't want my last night to be all about tooting.
No.
There'll be plenty of tooting on the plane.
It's tootless tonight.
You don't need a UV light for San Jose water to glow. That is true. If you consume different kinds of beans, you can toot your own orchestra. Why are we still on this tooting? I feel like it's passive aggressive. I said, okay, I think that's enough tooting. And then there were more tooting jokes. Have you guys seen the Fallout series yet? Man, I was there, man. I was there the first day, the first hour it went up. I watched all of it, every episode till my eyes bled.
I haven't
And then
yet.
I watched it some more. I watched some of those episodes more than once. So yes, I watched the Fallout show. It is the best Fallout show that's on television today.
So is it good? I should watch it?
Yeah. I think you should.
There's so much going on. It's hard for me to keep up with TV anymore.
Me too. But I mean, I always liked the game Fallout. I always liked the sense of the humor of it and the sensibility of it and the story of it. And I feel like this was a great homogenization of all the ideas of that whole universe into one story that actually makes sense with good characters. Because I mean, that show, the game doesn't really have a lot of great characters or a lot of great. These are some great characters, and some of the stories in the game don't make a lot of sense. But this makes This makes really good sense. You're like, oh wow, no, that makes sense. This is really well written, well acted, well characterized, well done. Good job, fellas. Keep making them.
Late Night with the Devil. I have not yet. I need a sugar fleshie so I don't have to have a day job so I can do stuff. Because unfortunately, I have a day job.
A sugar fleshie, will you share?
I will share my sugar fleshie with you.
That sounds so naughty.
A little salt and pepper.
Yes, you know, unfortunately, yeah, I have not seen Late, and David Dasmalchin, David Dasmalchin is a good friend of mine. I've done a couple panels with David. I've done, we both were in the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. I was his announcer when he hosted that. He's kind of like he's been in the Ant-Man movies and the Batman movies and the Dune movies and the whatever movies.
Yeah.
And now he's got his own movie. So good for him.
Yep.
Good for a guy that looks that weird can get a good gig. That gives me hope.
Yes. Gives me hope for something like me. Oh, Gilda Costa said a platypus glows under a black light. I think that is very, very true. And YouTube is a tech issue. Is there a problem with YouTube?
Oh, there's a tech issue with YouTube? What's the tech issue?
Never seen anyone
What's the tech issue?
I don't know.
And Riftquest Gal, Sabi the Zombie Cheerleader, don a goatee or a mustache. Oh, to be me.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be
that.
funny. Riftquest Gal, you should have gotten an email notice from me. I sent a huge package to you. I got no response from you on Messenger, so I just held my breath and mailed a package of DVDs to you. So I hope it's what you want.
It's always what I wanted.
Yeah, a package of DVDs. I mean, they're just right over there.
Yeah.
You chewed on most of them already.
That's true. They're chewed on with love.
Hollywood has learned that the UK has always known that average-looking people can be talented too.
And bizarre-looking people can be.
Yes, and so can bizarre-looking people. YouTube looks okay by my end. Okay, Sally the Zombie Cheerlobo. Wow, that's hard to say. Cheerlobo. Sally the Lobo Zombie Cheerleader. Everyone's trying to create their own. What is that word when you put two words together? Is that a?
It's like a mashup or something.
Homonym.
Homina.
What is that called? Portmanteau.
Yes.
Portmanteau it sounds like a Cajun dish, but it's actually when you take two words and make a new word.
We just made that up.
What about a spoonerism?
Ooh.
You know, like, do you know what a spoonerism is? What's a spoonerism?
Kind of like a saying.
Yeah, but what's the defining aspect of saying something as a spoonerism?
Is it like a cliche or something?
A spoonerism is when you flip the letters of parts of it. So instead of saying like a tale of two cities, you might say a sale of two titties.
Yes.
That's a spoonerism.
Got him.
Where you switch letters of two words? Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So if you said, you know, Zally the zombie, that's not different enough. It'd have to be, maybe if you had, you could have Lister Mobo. That would be a spoonerism.
Lister Mobo. I like that.
Lister Mobo.
Lister Mobo.
Just gargle with Lister Mobo. Now, as you guys were, you didn't know how I was doing the underwater voice. Can't everyone gargle in their throat? Gargle in your throat like this. Can everyone talk like this? Can you do that?
No, because they'll make water all over the place. And I'll melt.
I don't have water in my throat. I just talk like this. I just sort of vibrate my back of my tongue like that.
I just kind of talk like that all the time.
Okay,
anyway,
yeah, I guess so. Hey, fleshies. I'm Sally the Zombie Cheerleader. I am not a crook.
My tongue isn't long enough to do that. Sorry.
When we did the underwater, when we showed the octopus and the what was it? Sea Lab 2020. I did the underwater voice, and people thought I was an effect of some sort or a trick. It was not a Sound like merman? Does merman sound like that? I'll get you here. I think Rondo Award winners get posted tonight. How do you think the two of you did? I'm hoping that Sally wins and I get an honorable mention. That's what I'm hoping.
It posted at 10 o'clock, actually. So.
Oh, it's already posted?
Yeah. But I don't know if that's West Coast or East Coast.
I think East Coast because I think David Colton is a East Coaster. Right?
Okay.
I think he's in Kentucky, right? Is that David Colton's stomping grounds? I think. Because didn't he do Wonderfest? Where's Wonderfest? Isn't that where that originated?
Yeah, isn't that Jersey? Maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, Svengoolie probably won again.
So I would think what I'm going to guess is Svengoolie took it, and then I think probably Joe Bob got honorable mention.
Yeah.
And then maybe Elvira again, and then maybe there might be a list of people that might include Sally and Mr. Lobo as other hosts that got a lot of damn votes, but will never have a Rondo. Are
no, ever, never, unless they change it.
But I think you could. I do have a Hall of Fame. I do have a Monster Kid Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Or no, that's not the one I have.
Did you get no, it was Monster Kid, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monster Kid Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So so I have the Monster Kid Hall of Fame Rondo, which is like a half a Rondo. It's like just the front of his face on a plaque.
It's a dough.
It's not a bust. Is this some kind of bust?
Yeah, they had over 6,200 votes. I think they said 1,500 votes more than last year.
It seems like they get more votes every year.
It's just more Svengoolie fans.
The list is supposed to be posted around midnight.
Oh,
apparently.
Midnight. I thought 10. All right. I don't know anything. I'm just a zombie. Don't ask me hard questions.
Yeah. Don't do that to a zombie. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, how do I say this in the nicest way? I think Svengoolie does have an advantage because of MeTV. Anyone with the network support is going to have somewhat advantage. Anyone with national network support is going to have an advantage.
Yeah.
But the thing about Svengoolie is Svengoolie's also been a horror host for 30 years.
Yeah.
And there are people who are just such a rabid fan base that they're campaign for him. But honestly, you know, the numbers of people watching broadcast TV are less than streaming.
Yeah. But MeTV has a pretty good, he has a really good fan base on MeTV.
I mean, he does. But what's big for us as horror hosts is small for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Shudder only has 1 million subscribers. So even if every subscriber was watching Joe Bob, that's only 1 million people watching. Whereas 1 million people watching might be an average Saturday night on MeTV for Svengoolie. So so that is an advantage, but it's not that insurmountable. I mean, I feel like on OSI 74 I get 750,000 views a year or something on my show. So, you know, and that doesn't include all of the PEG stations and all you know, we're on this thing now, Kings of Horror and Fossum and the Monster Channel and you name it, you know.
Would be nice if Count Floyd at least got an honorable mention or an honorable Rondo.
Oh,
that would be really, really nice.
Just give it to Count Floyd this year.
Yeah, that's actually true.
That would be great.
That would be really nice.
That would be really great.
Favorite
Favorite horror host, Count Floyd, the end. That's a great idea.
I don't know if Joe Bob would want Sally and Lobo.
Lobo and Sally need to be guests on Joe Bob. I think Joe Bob's scared of us. Because I know people who work on that show, like John Brennan, who's the producer. He's a friend of mine. I'm shocked I haven't been at least talked to once about it. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind being on Joe Bob's show.
No.
You know, we both have a lot in common. I have mad respect for all hosts, but 2 people I see on this stream are my favorites. Oh, Tony. That's the mayor's assistant down there in Chesapeake.
Nice.
Schlorpy Plorp. Yeah. Floyd should get honorary 1, even though he wasn't an actual horror host. That depends on what your definition is.
He did kind of host a few specials.
He did host. They did make him host some movies, but I think even though he's a, I mean, what does it take to be a horror? That depends what your definition of a horror host is. I mean, all horror hosts are a character, and for a lot of people, Count Floyd was their horror host because they never saw that kind of a character before. And even though he was just introducing Dr. Tung's 3D House of Stewardesses on SCTV, I don't know if that doesn't make him legitimate.
Yeah, and he was a parody, but what horror host is not a parody?
What horror host is not a parody? What horror host is not funny?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't completely call him illegitimate as a horror host.
I consider him a horror host.
So I think that that style of presentation, I think, is what makes someone a horror host.
Yeah.
People always ask me, how can I be a horror host? And what I always tell them, and this is a secret, host horror. Host horror. That's what you need to do. Yeah.
Just horror?
Host horror? Host horror.
Who knew?
Host horror. Yeah, that's what you need to do to be a horror host. Just host horror.
Here I thought it was zombie films.
So, but you can, yes, all of you can be a horror host. You just have to host something horrible. I almost don't qualify to be a horror host. I've had a lot of people say, "Well, Mr. Lobo's not a horror host."
Ow.
I think they do say that, and that's fine because I'm also a movie host. Sometimes I host horror films, and sometimes I don't. But I don't think because I host other kinds of films, sometimes that takes away my horror host cred, does it? I mean, Joe Bob showed some clunkers on. He showed like weird, like Look Who's Talking and Mannequin, and I feel like when he was on cable, he showed all kinds of movies.
He showed it was like a gamut. He ran from just weird off the wall shows and some B horror to things you've never heard of before. And
I feel like at a certain point they were just putting all kinds of movies up for him to show.
Yeah. It's whatever they could get at the
whatever they could get the rights to.
That's right. It's all about the rights.
Horror movies aren't selling this year. You're going to have to start hosting Lifetime original movies with Meredith Baxter Birney's Disease of the Week movies.
And rights are weird because if you go on Shudder and you'll see a movie that was hosted by Joe Bob, but then they have Joe Bob bits.
Sorry about that. Mr. Lobo inspired one of our students to be a horror host during his lecture. Oh, wow. That's crazy. All right, I'm sorry to mean to interrupt.
Yeah, if you go on Shudder, that Joe Bob will host horror films, but then he has Joe Bob bits, so actually you'll lose the rights. So I don't know if they license the film probably, and then they just put up the best bits. I don't know.
They do. It's weird. If it disappears off Shudder, then they still want to have that episode available for people to watch. They have to show the I guess the movieless version.
Yeah.
Creature Features, Vincent Tangella and Livingston of Creature Features, they have, I guess, I think it's like Creature Features Light or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just the host segments. Would you folks want to see just the host? People always say, "Oh, I just want to see I don't care about the movie. I just want to watch your bits." But it doesn't make any sense if you're not watching it with the movie.
Yeah, unless you just make bits specifically to be bits.
So I don't know. I mean, would that be, maybe I'll do some kind of best of, but I kind of feel like that would be really hard without at least summarizing the movie or having a little tiny bit of the movie so that you get what I'm playing off of. Yeah, half of Joe Bob's Amazing Italian Night is gone now. We have to pass the tapes thing forming, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, it shows you the importance of physical media, the importance of having copies of things, because if someone decides, "Oh, we don't want this available for consumption," it can just disappear off your streaming channel, disappear off your server, disappear off your phone. I remember a friend of mine had 1984 George Orwell book on their Kindle, and there was a question about the rights, the Orwell estate or whatever, and it just disappeared.
Disappeared.
It just 1984 disappeared from their Kindle, and I'm like, how ironic is that?
They weren't paying enough money, basically.
It's the history it just disappeared. It just or very Orwellian to have that just something that you purchased vanish from your phone.
Yeah.
Fritz the Night Owl's 50th anniversary. I think he's in his 90s now, right?
Holy cow.
Collection is out with just the host segments. Probably has a few public domain movies in there. Who knows? Interesting. I know that with Bob Wilkins, they took some of his bits and put them around public domain movies and then just had like a weird disclaimer that it's not actually the movie that he's hosting. I mean, we can see what happens. Mr. Lobo and Sally are the best thing to happen to TV since...
Since T-Froop.
Since the balloon episode of F Troop, is that what that is? What was weird was, though the book was deleted, the graphic novel adaptation in 1984 had remained for some reason. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Maybe they changed it by 25%. I'm glad that Zachary immortalized his act in Horrible Horror. Yeah, I watched that a lot. I would say that was very influential for me. In the 90s when I was writing for Planet X magazine and Scott and I were, laying out pages for the magazine, we would have Horrible Horror on in the background. And we, which was basically Zachary doing his shock theater shtick.
Yeah.
With just these trailers and clips from various silly clips from horror films. It was great.
Yeah.
Very, very, very rewatchable. I just great to just put on. I'd love to, I guess I sort of made something like that. We did a thing called the Nonstop Movie Party Zombies. That's right. And it was all trailers, all zombie clips and trailers from zombie movies, but without a feature, just a bunch of clips. And that was kind of fun.
Back in the day, I used to go to Monster Bash when Zachary was still around, and he loved my character. He was so sweet, and whenever we had a chance, we'd sit down and talk. I have pictures when we were having dinner together, just a whole bunch of people.
Wow.
Absolutely miss him. When he passed away, I actually stopped going to Monster Bash for a while. That's why I haven't been up there for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Monster, Zachary, Zachary, I've never met in person. I had a phantom phone call from him after I was on Coast to Coast AM, and he was happy that I was talking about horror hosts on the radio. And then for my 10th anniversary, a couple of horror hosts went and visited Zachary and filmed Zachary roasting Mr. Lobo. And so he had a picture of me that he tried to electrocute with his electrodes.
Was that during your roast? I think I kind of remember that. Oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
And so he tries to zap me. He's like, what? This man's been released, really? And then he has the picture of Mr. Lobo, and he turns his electrodes on, and he tries to burn it, but then it bounces off and zaps him, and then he's like, well, I guess he's okay. So I got roasted by literally roasted by Zachary for my 10th anniversary, and I had one phantom phone call, but I wish I could have had a dinner with him.
He was a sweetheart. I'll dig out the pictures. They're on my Facebook. I know buried. If you go into my photos, you'll find them, and I know I have them in files, so I'll repost those because he was so.
But you will be back at Monster Bash this July, right?
Yes,
Sally?
I am going back to Monster
Sally?
Bash.
Right,
finally.
Sally?
And I won't feel sad, hopefully.
You won't feel sad. No, you won't feel sad. We're going to be there with you.
I know.
We're going to be there with you. And it's totally different now.
Yeah.
It's totally different now. You're going to be there with friends.
Good. Yeah. I'll have a drink in his honor or something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's boy, we've lost a lot of great hosts, haven't we?
Good grief.
What's the best and cheapest way to watch some Zachary shows? Well, I think there are some on YouTube. There isn't a lot of Zachary. There's some on OSI 74. I think we have just a couple of his on one or two of his on OSI 74.
Yeah.
and then just, I mean, you
Google it. I mean, somebody if
try to get a copy of Horrible Horror if
Yeah.
you can. I believe there was a DVD as well as a VHS.
tryarchive.org might have some Zachary.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be around.
Archive.org would be a good try.
Yeah.
You've been looking on YouTube as well?
He is on YouTube, not a lot.
Yeah.
It's pieces, more segments than
Mr.
anything.
Lobo and Sally, how did you guys meet? We met a long time ago, but we usually just bumped into each other at conventions for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think we both might have appeared on another horror host show that shall remain nameless.
Nameless and anonymous and kicked to the Kerbis.
To the Kerbis. But I always thought Sally's character was great. It's an iconic character and one of my favorite horror host characters. And just fun. And it was really cool when we started doing the pop-up drive-ins. You just showed up, right?
Yeah, and I wrangled a set or your screen at one point. Was
trying
to blow away.
The wind was trying to blow the screen. Everybody was trying to save the screen. I felt like we were in like an old pirate movie, like trying to hoist the mainsail.
I had such blisters in my hand the next morning.
But Sally showed up at one of our pop-up drive-ins, and I invited her to co-host, and I was so happy, so thrilled to have, because this madness is hard to understand of being a horror host, and to have another senior horror host, somebody who gets this and understands this and is good with a crowd and can improv. And I'm like, wow, it's great to have a partner in crime sometimes.
Yeah, it's good to bounce stuff off each other too.
Bounce stuff.
It's great to monologue, but sometimes it's a lot better and more exciting when there's a two-way chat going on.
Miss Mittens is a very selfish performer, I feel like she's always talking over me, but so it was really nice. Sally's been doing this since 2005. She knows her stuff. She knows, actually, she's got an encyclopedic knowledge of the genre in general.
More or less, maybe.
And again, always has tricks, stuff in her. She comes with this bag of tricks, things that she wants to try, things she wants to do. And everything is a prop, everything is to be played with, everything is in play, and it's great to watch Sally work. And we put her in a good number of episodes now.
Yeah.
And so hopefully there'll be more stuff to come, because I think we have a good chemistry, good comedic chemistry.
I think so. I haven't eaten them yet. He hasn't chased me away.
Well, you kind of.
I know, and once in a while.
Got some a few holes here and there, but not too bad.
I just patch them right.
I'm not as bad as Perry White. I'm not. I'm in better shape.
I did not do that to Perry White.
I can just see you cracking right through the back.
Tasted so Perry.
You're glad that we met. Yeah, I'm very glad. The thing about it that my biggest regret is I hosted Blobfest for 9 years. I did not know Sally was right there, like literally like 10 minutes from the theater.
And I used to go to Blobfest all the time, and I would watch you host, and I enjoyed it. And it never occurred to me, because I figured that's his gig. Why am I going to bother you?
I would have definitely pulled you up into that. You would have been all over it.
Yeah. But it was fun when you were on stage. I cannot tell you how much I miss seeing you during Blobfest. I do. And hopefully they'll bring you back for a special or something. Who knows? If you go to Blobfest, you just happen to mention, we miss Lobo! I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
I mean, a lot of people have, and it might be frustrating them at this point.
I'm okay with that, because I'm one of them.
I have a lot of fans who are very disappointed that I'm not the host, and I think Aurora is a great host. I don't know why when I was hosting, we had Aurora host parts of it. We had other people do parts of it. I mean, we even had Joel from Mystery Science. If a senior host is around, I always defer to the senior host. We had Joel from Mystery Science Theater come up and host parts of it.
Yep.
It's a festival. You know, I don't know why they're keeping it so. I don't know if they're keeping me out of it. I'm trying not to make it dramatic. Yeah. You know, being a host of a film festival is not a lifetime appointment. If they want to try something different, more power to them. And Aurora, if I had to pick someone to replace me for that show in particular, I would have picked Aurora, since she had been in the company of that already and had already hosted parts of it when I was host. It made sense, but I'm not exactly sure why we're at 100% Lobo-less Blobfest now.
Yeah, it's interesting, but maybe the powers that be will come to their senses eventually and do a 50-50 or an every other. Every other would be nice. 50-50 would be nice.
It's a different, you know, it's new management and whatever. They probably don't really know.
Don't know.
Just don't really understand. But that's fine.
Do they do the fire extinguisher parade?
They do the fire extinguisher parade. I believe they still do that.
Okay.
I would assume, I haven't been there, but I would assume they do the fire extinguisher parade at usually around noon on the Saturday with the street fair.
They don't do the Blobfest then. Mixer Blobfest.
They don't do the Blob. They don't do Miss Blobfest anymore. They fumbled that. We created Miss Blobfest. Dixie was the first Miss Blobfest. I think that they had a hard time resolving the fact that it was I hate to hurt people's feelings, is that it was an exhibition. It wasn't a real contest.
It wasn't real.
And it was a good way to bring a person into the show who could come play with us, but it was a bit, you know, and we didn't have to necessarily deal with the idea of pageants being antiquated or whatever, because it is supposed to be corny, because we're emulating the 50s or parodying the 50s. So, you know, I think it was something that worked in a particular way. It got taken too seriously, and it was difficult to deal with the normal drama that comes along with doing a real pageant. But we had a lot of fun with it, and it was never drama when we were doing it.
Yeah, I think they thought it was something that it wasn't. I think that was the problem. Again, new people probably didn't understand the details, and the nuances.
And maybe they were legitimate thinking they could change it into something else. Maybe they were trying to improve it, but then they decided not to do it. So I always call Stephanie Vogel the last Miss Blobfest when I see her. Wonder what it would take to make Cinema Insomnia or OSI 74 Mini Fest. I think what we should do is, one, set it in the future, like a couple years, where it's like, okay, 2026, we're all going to meet in this state at this place, you know, whatever. Work it out with your boss now, start saving your bus fare, you know, so we know this Insomniacs can plan to get there, because not everybody can just drop everything in their life and travel to be at a convention.
Or maybe go to a certain movie theater and do a Cinema Insomnia Film Fest.
Or a certain movie theater, yes, a certain movie theater, and do a Cinema Insomnia Film Fest, and make it open to all comers. Yes. Blobfest is not over. It's just not hosted by Mr. Lobo.
Exactly.
They I think they've already sold tickets for this year.
Yep.
It's an amazing show, and I want it to succeed with or without me. So I want 0% negativity toward that show.
Yeah, I still go to it. I've been going to it for over 12 years. I don't think every single year, but for 12 years, and I'll probably continue to go. I go on the weekends. I still enjoy it. You know, make my foil hat and buy the wares and visit especially the vendors. If you go for anything, go to the vendors. The street vendors are amazing. Support local art. Even if you don't want to go into theater and do all the shenanigans of the movies, support local artists.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, a lot of nice things being said. I appreciate that, folks. And again, I've hosted many film fests, and I will host many other film fests, and maybe I should have my own film fest.
Yes.
You know, I do feel like we need a really good retro sci-fi horror film fest. I always wanted to do a Ed Wood memorial, like award and a festival, you know.
If you arrange it, they will come.
Yeah.
Ooh, they'll come out of the cornfields.
Because I kind of thought like I feel like Ed Wood is like the anti H.P. Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have a much more welcoming vibe, but all the tentacles still.
Yeah, pretty much. Lobofest, Woodfest. Ooh, you've got your name. Now you have to do it.
Lobofest, Woodfest. Yep. Mm-hmm. I actually have done a few Ed Wood fests. We did Ed Woodstock, where we had 3 bands and 2 Ed Wood movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did have a Ed Wood Fest here at the Pop-Up Drive-In.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just hopefully maybe just expand upon that idea. I've definitely presented Plan 9.
Mm-hmm.
I presented the Ed Wood movie, the Johnny Depp Ed Wood movie. Glenn or Glenda, Bride of the Monster we've hosted live many times. But it would be fun to see other movies that are kind of, you know, the B movies, the low budget movies, the schlocky movies, you know, even the new ones that have that same spirit, you know.
It's true.
Because they're, you know, where's the next Ghastly Love of Johnny X? Or the next Mark of the Damned? Or the next Xenia, Priestess of Night. I mean, we've shown them on Cinema Insomnia, and I feel like even though those are newer films, they definitely fit in with those classics.
True.
Blobfest, take note, even without him, Mr. Lobo is still saying his things about.
Well, you can't be mad because it's a great festival. I mean, yes, I'm upset Lobo's not there. Yes, I would love to see him there. But I still support Blobfest. I still buy tickets. I still go see the movies. I still do the run out. So, you know, what are you gonna do?
You know, again, it's showbiz, is
Yeah.
what they say. So, you know, and again, you never know when you're going to be working with people. So it's an easier tack to just be nice.
Yeah.
It's this universe of B movies and cult movies is very small. So if you're gonna hold a grudge, it's gonna be a hard time for you.
And it's so easy to get upset and burn bridges. That's the easy way out, and some people do that. And we've seen it in Horror Hostville when people get something up their, I don't know, their
ugly,
skirt
yeah.
or their shirt or their hat
Mm-hmm.
or their fur
or their wig.
or their wig. They want to take it out. But again, as Lobo said, there's not a lot of us. And this kind of finite circle of horror host related people and hosts and directors and drive-ins. There's not a lot left. So why, when you have an event like Blobfest, poo-poo it? Or you can say, no, I don't necessarily like how you do a certain thing or two, but I still support it. And I still think it's nice. Because there's not a lot of us left. And again, why do you need the drama? Who cares? Life is so short. There's enough to worry about out there. Yes, you could be upset, but we still need to support each other.
Absolutely.
We really just need to support each other.
And a festival and a movie festival is not about the hosts per se. It is about the people.
It's the fans. It's about the fans.
And any place where fans can gather and support a community. I mean, the Blobfest community is amazing. And that community is so great. And they deserve a good festival.
I support the local artists.
It's good for their town. It's good for that theater. It's good for all those restaurants and everything else.
All the businesses, the record store around the corner, Brown's Cow ice cream, everything. I support.
The fans want to see blood.
All of that. It's not just about the people running it. It's not just about the drama. It's everything that's built into it. It's all the support. And really, the bottom line is, I'll support it because I know the fans like it. And I just want to make sure that the fans have something to be happy about. You want to reflect yourself in a positive manner. This is positive.
Yeah.
We have enough bad stuff out in the world. Yeah. Let's just kind of, you know, we don't get along all the time. We don't see eye to eye. Who cares? It's okay.
It's okay. We're here. We're fear. We're horror hosts.
Right.
During the summer, Hollywood Forever. Well, I missed that. I don't have to. I missed the. I can't. It's going to. The conversation's moving too
You're dropping
fast.
your rusty water
I
all over the
can't
place. Damn
use
it.
my mouse.
Sorry.
That's okay. Here we go. Let me see if I can scroll up.
Hold
End of
on.
the day, more with the ability to make our own movie. Yeah, we should do that. A live host a giant Gila monster and throw rubber lizards at people. Yes, we could do that.
Throw ants at each other.
What were the other things? Phoenixville is a cool town. It was on our short list when we moved back to Pennsylvania years ago.
Yes, it's gorgeous. Please go to Phoenixville. Support the local artists.
OSI at the Narrow. Yes. Oh, yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Phoenixville is a cool town. We got a lot of OSI already happening at the Narrow between Rob, the host of Phantasmo,
Yes.
Trailer Vault, and Yellow Fever.
Yeah, and if you're in the Norfolk area, please
and
go to the
Mr.
Narrow.
Lobo, who is on OSI, and Sally, who is on OSI, and John, who is on OSI. So
support Creatures of the Narrow. Support the Shadowcast.
And OSI Fest would be probably welcomed there. Hollywood Forever does outdoor movies. The Cemetery, yes. I would love to see Plan 9 from Outer Space against a mausoleum somewhere.
Oh, well. Laurel Hill. Plan 9 Laurel Hill. I wonder if that could be possible. You talk to him. Start
Start digging around the cemetery. See
what I can dig up.
Yeah.
I'll dig up some connections. That's a great idea.
Why isn't Sally whacking Mr. Lobo with a rolling pin? That's for Andy Cap.
I can whack him with the eye. Boo, 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 boo.
The eyes have it.
Aye.
Saw last podcast of the left live there a few years ago. Oh, they did that. They did a podcast from a cemetery.
OSI Fest, Virginia Beach, Virginia Summer 2027. I support that.
OSI Fest, Virginia Beach, VA Summer 2027. They've already starting it.
You're gonna have to do it now because they said it. Yeah. I agree.
Pity the conversation is running like a wild river tonight. It is going pretty fast.
Yeah. It's tangents. It's all the tangents and tributaries.
Yeah. It is amazing how robust the community has become just lately. I feel like it seems like we have a really, really I was talking about this with Sally beforehand. Is like, there have definitely been, clusters of fans over the years. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this group now is like the best group of fans we've ever had somehow. Yeah. Like there's so much love. There's so much consideration for each other. You guys are all good to each other. You guys look after each other. You guys want to make things happen. It's been really great, and we've been able to do some amazing things. We've been able to do some amazing shows. Doing the pop-up drive-ins we wouldn't have been able to do without your support. Yeah. Doing all these amazing past 10 episodes that we've made, we wouldn't have been able to do without your support. All the fun things we've been able to do here in the studio and inviting people to come play with us. The fact that we're going to California, that all of that would never have happened without this community. So
if I could bottle the fans, the essence of the fans of OSI and Cinema Insomnia, I would make $1 million. I would make $1 billion. The ode, the Cinema Insomnia,
that aroma
is amazing. It just, you ooze sweetness and kindness and love. And it's not, I get a little bit of that too, and I am appreciative of that. But the support that you give for Cinema Insomnia is beyond amazing. It really is. It's sweet.
It is sweet. The Council of Pauls loves us too, by the way. We have so many Pauls. As I said before, I love making art. And of course, it's already, who knows? I know, Fanger, you love making art, and we've encouraged you.
I'll take a bottle of ooze and essence. That's good.
And I'm glad that you feel welcomed here. Help support Mr. Lobo and Aaron. This is Spin Master Scott. Their trip to California. Oh, yes. Working on Paul Bunnell's new movie. CinemaInsomnia.com/LA trip. Thank you for posting that again. Lexi says, I love all you guys. I'm glad I came out of my shell, LOL. Lexi, I'm glad you came out of your shell too.
Me too.
And I have not sent your fan club kit yet. I'm sorry, but I will right when I get back. I will do that. I like I said, I did 15 hours of packing, and that is not an exaggeration. I did 15 hours of packing this week up to our leaving time, and I just unfortunately I wasn't able to get to everybody. But maybe April or Paul maybe can get your stuff together. I'm going to see if that's possible. Exactly how big a bottle of ooze do we each send to Sally? Oh no.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a good 6 or a 12-ounce size bottle.
Oh, you don't want to open that can of worms.
Ode to Cinematics, Insomniacs. You know, sometimes it's hard to say words when you're saying it like this. It really is. People want to know.
The stream thing is when we bring strangers in here and they do the stream for the first time, this is baffling. This is a very difficult kind of thing to just sort of try to have a conversation in if you're not used to it.
Exactly.
There's a lot, especially now we've got YouTube over here too. Now let's see, OMG.
Do it in
so
Seattle.
You're saying goodbye to, what is it?
Is that Chainsaw Sally?
So you're only
I could be
saying goodbye to Blobfest. I thought you were done with Cinema Insomnia. Oh no, we're not saying goodbye to Blobfest.
No,
I'm not. I just am not. I'm going to California for a few weeks to work on a movie, and I'm coming back.
Yeah.
And Cinema Insomnia, they're going to have to drag me off of Cinema Insomnia.
Yeah.
You know, because no matter what I'm doing, even if we start making movies and stuff, I'm always going to do this to some degree because it's just part of who I am.
Exactly.
It's, you know, you look at Zachary, he was a lifer, man. He was still dressing up like Zachary
nearly
in his 90s.
Well into his 90s.
You know, and Dick, you know, I mean Count Gordeval.
Count Gore still does it.
He is, what is he, 80 yet? How old is he? 70s?
That's 7. Say his age. Probably 77, 78.
Okay, he's an elder gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He was a horror host in the 70s, if that gives you any idea.
Yeah.
On television, the adult man in the 70s, and he's still.
He's going to be down next Saturday in Silver Spring.
He's going to be on stage in Silver Spring in that cape and in that makeup, still doing it. I think
we have the disease too.
It is. There's no cure.
No.
I think once you are a horror host, even if you stop doing it, it's still part of you.
It's still part.
I remember John Stanley. Several times I talked to him, and he does shows occasionally where he comes out and does live shows and things, but he still has regrets about letting creature features go. You know, it's like I could have done 4 times a year, or I could have done a Halloween special once a year.
Do holiday specials, yeah.
You know, he definitely has you have regrets about the shows you didn't make more so than anything else.
Well, for the longest time, I did just specials because up until a few years ago, I had 2-3 kids at the house, so my hands were full. I was working, I had kids, and I would squeeze in a show or two. So I've been around for a while, but I don't have a lot of shows. Now, the last, I'd say, since COVID is when I actually started cranking out at least 1 show a month. And I love it. I've got a lot of catch up with this one here, but the fact that we're in OSI Studios and we're doing Cinema Insomnia and we're working together, and I could do bits when I get a chance.
Well, and you're putting yourself in front of people with your own show, and you're putting yourself in front of people with our show as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, in some ways, you've probably doubled your reach.
Yeah, and I love every second of it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Dale is shocked that you have kids.
I have, yeah. Zombette, Zomboy, and Charlie the Zombie.
Oh, Mr. Lobo watched a Misty Brew episode the other day. Misty Brew's great. She is somewhat inspirational to some of my writing. Saw Sally you saw her about 15 years ago?
That's about right.
Bowman Body. Yes, the Bowman Body.
Yes.
Now, we got to see the Bowman Body. We sat on the floor and just listened to him tell
He
stories.
told stories.
I felt like I was a little kid.
I know, it was great. They have pictures of us, and we all looked like little horror host kids.
He was
like Muppet Babies.
He was in like it wasn't a wheelchair. It was one of those Was it like one of those?
Like a wheeled chair or something.
Yeah, one of those. It was a chair with wheels, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't technically a wheelchair. I think they were just helping him move around. And he was just there, and he was a little low to the ground, and he's shrinking also.
Yeah.
And and I wanted to hear every word, and I just sort of sat down in front of him, and then Sally sat down too, and the two of us, and someone took a picture of the two of us on the floor sitting there listening to all of his stories. He had done a radio show that day, recorded a radio program that day, came to Monster Fest, hung out with the fans, and then he was doing something else that evening.
I think he was off to do something else. Well, we sat on that floor for one brief moment. I was probably 11 years old.
Yeah.
So
and
nice.
I'm proud to say that I made a documentary. I've done 2 documentaries that covered Bowman Body. Virginia Creepers, I'm the host of that documentary. And then we did there was so much material on Bowman Body. When I got off the plane, and I said, oh, I'm a horror host. In Richmond, they say, oh, you're a Bowman Body? Like, that's the word for horror host.
Yeah.
So we had 45 minutes. In the original cut of Virginia Creepers, we had 45 minutes of Bowman Body. So they made a whole secondary movie with just Bowman Body and called Hi There Horror Movie Fans. And so I hosted that documentary as well. And then we created 2 episodes of Shock Theater. They rented out a theater in Virginia, and John Dimes and I and Eric Miller and some other folks, Skeeter from Dr. Gruesome, we all came together and we created 2 new because most of Shock Theater was erased.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that exists to watch. So we recreated or made 2 new episodes of Shock Theater with Bowman Body as host, and released them on DVD. So I've 4 projects that I've done with Bowman. And I'm very proud of that.
Unfortunately, back in the day when they were using beta tapes or reel-to-reel in some instances, I'm not sure how they filmed back in the day, but they reused. They reused
the
everything.
tape was expensive, so they just reused
reused it.
It's recordable. We'll just record over it.
Yeah, so that's why things were not kept the way it is kept now, because they just, we need to use that. Tape's expensive. Film's expensive.
Yeah. But Bowman was interesting. If you've never seen Bowman Body, he was kind of like Bob Wilkins, real low key. He's an average guy, although he did wear, I would say, ironically wore a vampire cape. He had a Band-Aid on his forehead, and he wore sneakers, and he would come out of the coffin. You'd throw his leg over the coffin, and he'd have his sneaker there. And he would say, hi there, horror movie fans. And that's how he would start his show. Yeah. The other thing is he would say, you won't see that on 6 and 12, which were the 2 other stations.
Yeah.
He was the host of Shock Theater, and the Shock package was the original package of horror movies that came to television in the 50s and 60s. And then into the 70s, a lot of stations still had the Shock package. But in the 70s, there was something called the Creature Feature package, which is what Bob showed, which is what Count Gordeval showed, which is what Misty Brew showed. They had a different package of movies. So even though we had a different hosts across the country, a lot of us were watching those same movies. Exactly. With our own local way. I think Creature Double Feature, they didn't have a host. They just had bumpers. So there was, but everybody had that film package.
So when Count Gore was the first horror host that hosted Night of the Living Dead on the East Coast.
So was Bob Wilkins was the first to show Night of the Living Dead on the West Coast. So they both got to be the first.
Exactly. So that's how it kind of worked back then. It was like canned horror. Well, pretty much every market, every big market, every medium-sized market had a horror host. I mean, you think of the ones out of New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. You had Count Gore. You had Creature Feature in Baltimore. You had the Bowman Body in Virginia. Zachary, Dr. Shock. I mean, just think of the number of Dr. Shock out in Ohio. All the horror hosts that were in reasonably
there were
big
two Dr.
markets.
Shocks, Dr.
That's
Shock
right.
Philly and Dr. Shock Ohio.
In Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. I miss those days. I miss local.
It was a
television
national phenomenon that happened locally.
Yes.
A local phenomenon that happened nationally, well, or one direction or the other.
Grassroots, local, in your neighborhood, people that
Right.
knew you, knew where you lived, knew your town, knew your city.
Yeah, they
It
knew
was
your
very
city.
personal.
You drove by the TV station and you thought, oh,
Exactly.
wow, whatever, Dr. Barfbag lives there.
Big Chuck and Little John, they were huge in Ohio. My goodness gracious. I actually went to a show.
I think they did that for over 30 years, right?
Yeah, they retired a few years ago, and I still have my little Big Chuck and Little John press pass when I got in to do their shows.
Because I believe Big Chuck was Big Chuck and Houlihan before Big Chuck and Little John.
Yes.
And then Big Chuck worked with Goulardi before that. So he's the thread there between all of those shows.
Mm-hmm. True.
Was it Chuck? What's his last? Some really Chuck Wadowski or something?
Something like that.
Something extremely Polish.
Yes, very Polish.
There are rumors that an intern threw them into a dump and they moved studios, but someone said Uncle Ted is pulling tabs and saying they were going to reuse them. I don't even know what any of that is about. Digital Dax rating with 2. Did you find a friend, Digital Dax?
Ooh.
Would love to return to local hosts. I really like variety.
I wish. I really, really wish we would. My fear is we are using AI so rapidly and so often that we're going to do anything local anymore. We're going to do anything personal anymore.
I think it's going to create the
person.
opposite. I think people are going to crave things that are spontaneous, crave things that are made by a person,
I hope
crave
so.
things that are personality driven, crave things that are lo-fi.
Mm-hmm.
I think it actually could be the best thing to ever happen to us, Sally. That's how I'd like to think about it.
I hope so. I hope so. Because if you think about the market, there's so many channels, there's so many apps, there's so many everything that we're on Roku, but how many channels are there? So you get your audience and then try to maintain that audience. And no, it's not huge the way it is, say, MeTV or Shudder, but we do well for what we do. We maintain our audience, our fans.
Well, it is not about demographics anymore. It's about communities. And, we have our community and that's who we're serving. So in a way, we are doing, in a sense, the same thing a local host would do.
Exactly.
And we're serving our community. And that is, if advertisers were smart, they would pay attention to that. If studios were smart, they would pay attention to that. If movie theaters were smart, they'd pay attention to that.
They would really pay attention to that.
People want an experience. They want to connect, and they want to share in something. And even if it's vicarious, other people are watching this at the same time, or this is something I can talk about with my friends. I mean, that is really that's the real currency of it is whatever community comes up around the thing that you're doing.
But the bonus that you get with us is you won't have the bigger hosts sit down with you like this and chat without charging you. We are here. We are very personal. We know our fans. And yes, they do know some of their fans, of course, too.
Sure.
But I think this is a more personal level that I can reach out. I know pretty much everyone that's in the chat. I can have anyone that would walk up to me at a convention and say, I'm so-and-so. Even if I don't see your face, I'll know who you are. But you don't really get that when you have these super huge
And even if I don't know who you are, I want to know who you are.
And we want to know who you are. So we are more accessible. And I like that, actually.
It is a bit of a luxury. I know I do get some criticism and it causes some problems in my life sometimes that I'm that accessible to the fans. I try to sign everything if I can, or add a note if I can. If I have time, I try to write everyone a personal note because this is someone who spent their time, their money, their effort on my art, on my creation. and I want to show gratitude for that. And I feel like it's a luxury that I get to handle every package that goes out the door before it goes to a fan.
Yeah, I'll get the Lobo seal of approval. I love you. Go to my fan, fly, be free.
But I if this thing gets too much bigger, that might be a luxury that I won't get to have. So I try to enjoy that. I try to enjoy that, even though it bottlenecks at my desk and those packages don't go out very fast. It is important to me that I know who it's going to, and that person gets what they asked for and maybe a little extra.
Exactly.
Get a little more than what they asked for.
Yes. A little bonus Lobo.
Bad could tell you I was like an 11-year-old when I finally got to meet Mr. Lobo at Monster Fest a few years ago. It was a bucket list item for sure for me. Sally was an added bonus. Both great people. A whole crew is so accommodating and kind. Well, that's very nice to say. Thank you, Cross. We like you, Cross. And we love how creative you are in your comics and everything. And you and Bad are together are dynamite.
Yes, and we'll be back at Monster Fest again too. So yay, in October. I'm excited.
We've seen people at cons go from small to bigger to huge. It changes things for sure.
It does. It does.
And the thing about doing cons for me is difficult because my perspective of a convention is that the people at the convention are not there for me. I am there for them. I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. There wouldn't be a reason for me to have a table there if people didn't want me to be there.
Exactly.
If I don't, that's why I don't do every convention. I want to serve a purpose there, and I want to be able to contribute something to that convention and give back certainly to the people who do watch the show, or who have bought things from me, or who've just supported the show over the years. It is a place to give back to your fans, and I feel like it's sort of turned around to where it's like, okay, this is where we're going to wring out the last dollar that our fans have.
You have someone from Sweden.
Oh, look at this. Good morning from Sweden, Insomnia gangers. Wow. Well, hello, Sweden.
Was a Gooboomberrian.
Drink some horse and milking for me.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Gil. This is very behind the curtain, actually.
I love how deep the conversation has got. Well, that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to do any games today. I didn't want to show a movie. I did want everyone to have an opportunity to say, hey, good luck on your trip, or hey, when you come back, I'd like to see you do this or do that or whatever. But I just wanted to have an opportunity to talk to everybody before just disappearing, and I guess also to tell you that I'm not just disappearing. I've got a legitimate job that I'm doing down in LA, and I'm hoping to turn that into an opportunity for the show and to meet you folks on the trip back. We are taking a car on our way back, and like I said, my number one for sure stop is going to be seeing the Jeff's hot dog place.
Indeed.
But I'm definitely going to be at the Psychotronic Film Show this Saturday at Foothill Community College, which was where I started. I was doing those shows before there was a show, before there was a Mr. Lobo. We would do these film shows. Scott and I, we would do film shows, and Bob Ekman would and Bob and Scott and Paul would have they'd all do these 16 millimeter film shows together, and we would show Web of Love and whatever toothpaste commercials and ladies wrestling and cartoons and monster movies all mixed together, and that was sort of in the Northern California affect of the Psychotronic Society.
Yes,
and that is what I try to bring that culture into cinema insomnia, the sort of the random clips and the little blurps of film. That is my, I guess my desire is that randomness that those fests had. I try to bring that to my style of presentation, because that's where I came up, and that's how we roll.
And we're all going to miss Mr. Lobo while he's over in California. But I already told him I want you to come back with lots of connections and buckets of money and all these big deals. And we're going to do lots of big things and do films, and my fingers and toes and all my body parts at home are crossed. So
and we are gonna chronicle as much as possible too. Aaron's gonna have his camera out, and we're gonna try to roll on things. I'm gonna try to live stream here from my phone. So I'm not, this isn't really goodbye, but we got to roll up our sleeves, Insomniacs.
Yep.
We have to spread this sickness all over the world, and it's a tough job.
That's right. One state at a time.
Every state in the union and beyond.
And Canada. Don't forget the Canadians.
Truckloads of red vines. Yes, and Canada and Australia.
Yes, exactly. And Australia.
And South America and Europe and Africa and Asia and everywhere. Why not? Anywhere they'll have us.
Wanted to thank you for both for the fun and passion that you guys put into your work. You both have great communities because of what you both bring to us. Thank you, Gil. That's
Thanks,
very
Gil
sweet.
DaCosta. That's so nice.
And yes, you're a Canadian player. See, I know.
You're Canadian.
I
You got to check
Canadian
out your
fans.
Boxing Day special,
Yes.
Sally.
Exactly.
I still have the commercials from my childhood on VHS when watching. Oh, what is it? I still have the commercials from my childhood on VHS when watching the show. It gives me, I guess,
Great
major
nostalgic
nostalgia
vibes.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we try to do on the show a lot, is to maybe awaken a faint memory or a distant memory, or even a not memory, something maybe you just heard about but you've never really seen it, And some of it I feel like is a cultural literacy. Like, I feel like everyone's got to know "Let's Go Out to the Lobby." Everyone's got to sing that song, "Let's Go Out to the Lobby." Everyone should have seen certain commercials or certain things, because I feel like they're referenced over and over again.
They are.
And and now we have like the technology to where you don't have to go, oh well, I didn't grow up with that, so forget about it.
Yeah. But is it nostalgic bits and bobs that's the glue that keeps all the horror host fans together? I mean, you could not speak English. You could be from I don't care what country, but you will recognize, "Let's all go to the lobby." You don't have to know the word, but you know it. And that's what brings us together. And that's the part that makes me so excited about being a horror host, because you could reach out and touch people in a way that, in a good way.
Yes. In an appropriate.
Friendly, sensible way. But it reaches across barriers, across countries, across cultures, and I think it brings us a little closer together.
Joy Lansing, someone mentioned Joy Lansing. Joy Lansing is in the at the very beginning of Cinema Insomnia. There's that clip of the dancers doing like this.
Yes.
This is from a song called "Web of Love," and those are the backup dancers from the music video. Joy Lansing is the singer in that, and she sings, "I'm trapped in the web of love." And we've shown that. We used to show that at the Psychotronics film shows because Scott had a film print of it. And I used a little bit of it in the show. We've shown that, and that was called a scopatone. Scopatones were early music videos that were shown on these video jukeboxes, and it would string up a piece of 16 millimeter film and project it on a screen in like gentlemen's clubs and gambling casinos and bars. And they were a little bit spicy music videos. And so we had the 16 millimeter films of those, and we could run them in a standard movie projector, and we showed those. And so I flipped out pieces of that for Cinema Insomnia, scopatones, and I had Joy Lansing's cousin reach out to me and say, "Thank you for keeping, my cousins alive. Thank you for..." introducing another generation to Joy Lansing and her work. And I think of Joy Lansing as our Marilyn Monroe, the B movie version of Marilyn Monroe, you know. And there are so many weird films with weird actors who are overlooked or underappreciated, and it is kind of fun to sort of put a spotlight on the B side of things.
Well, that's like William Castle. If you go to my YouTube channels or watch my shows on Sally the Zombie Cheerleader, I always start with William Castle. And now for something completely different. I love William Castle. And to me, that's kind of keeping him alive. He was the P.T. Barnum of horror hosting and horror films. Well, actually, horror films.
Yeah.
You know, that was his stick, was B horror films, and just promoting out of the wazoo.
Them, he directed them, and then he appeared as a host.
Yes.
And he would promote his own movies, not only in his commercials and intros for the films, but he would appear in person and host his own movies in four-wall theaters.
Exactly.
And do great gimmicks.
And I miss that. That's why every show that I have starts with William Castle.
Yes. Well, you've got that showmanship, Sally. You have a lot of that. You know, yeah, I always love when we've got something terrible we want to do to the audience, and you're so there for it. It's like, okay, you put this mask on and go sit down next to someone and eat their popcorn.
Oh yes, I'm all over that.
So you know, I think that there is something fun about that. We did, if you watch the spook show that we did at Blobfest, we did a video version of our spook shows that we did at Blobfest. It's Mr. Lobo's Almost Midnight Spook Show. That's on OSI 74, and that gives you a taste of the kind of things we did. But we did do things where we would, you know, we had these little vibrators that we put on the back of people's chairs, and you know, we would have all these sort of you know, registered nurses, you know, in the lobby and all of that stuff.
You miss that stuff, little phony barf bags, and you know,
yes, the barf bags, and all that stuff.
Just
and the Blood-O-Vision, you know, how I always say, okay, it's tonight's movies in Blood-O-Vision. That's a very William Castle kind of thing.
Yes, it is.
Post a link in here. I'm that helpless. Post a link to what?
Oh, help Mr. Lobo, probably for the California trip. Is that what you mean?
Let me see. I see Sally smiling. No, that wasn't it. Oh, Sally, I hate to be so lame. Please don't call yourself lame.
Oh, my link. Yep.
I can't keep. I can't keep in my mind how to catch your show. Okay, well, give your information, Sally.
Yeah, it's Sally the Zombie Cheerleader on YouTube. If you just look up Sally the Zombie Cheerleader, you can find me all over YouTube. And OSI 74, you could find me there as well on Roku. So yeah, very easy. Just go to YouTube and look me up. Or look me down, or sideways, or frontways, or backways.
Just look. and also, Sally will be here on Twitch for 2 days this month, too, on the 18th and the 25th.
We'll have fun. We'll play games. We'll watch movies. I'll bring nibbles.
Do each other's hair and talk about boys.
Pillow fighting.
What are we doing over here?
Oh,
same stuff. No, not a lot of movement over there on YouTube.
We'll have fun. And yes, we're going to miss Mr. Lobo. He's going to have lots of fun out there. The California sun, doing California things. And we're going to be here. I don't like the sun,
Sally. I'm an indoor kid.
Oh, that's true. Well, even if I have sun, I'm still, I look like this. So it doesn't matter. I'm always room temperature.
You just start to rot, really, when you're out in the sun. You know, it's not really a tan as much as it's sort of like you just start going bad.
It's a layer. Costa, thank you. She liked my Canadian Thanksgiving special. I like it too. I should do I've done a couple Canadian Thanksgiving specials. I think so. One a few years ago, and then one recently.
We wanted to do a boxing special too, and a Boxing Day special, and I got punched really, like I got a black eye. There's actually footage of it, but Jesse has got boxing gloves on, and this was the first thing we filmed for it. and she like really punches me and pushes my glasses into my face and cuts me under the eye, and it was hilarious. I just like went down like a cartoon character, and it fell into the curtain and everything, and we had that clip, but we never finished the episode.
You knocked the episode right out of you.
Yeah. And Jessie was too afraid to even, she was mortified. She was too afraid to continue. And but at some point we do a Boxing Day special, it'd be great because you have that expertise.
Oh yeah, I'll have fun all over that. I don't know if they have any Canadian Thanksgiving animated specials. I haven't seen. If I would have seen one, I would have probably had it on my Canadian Thanksgiving special. But I don't know. I mean, I'd have to maybe talk to someone.
Baste my turkey, eh?
Canada, yeah. So.
Hey, hoser.
Hey, hoser. Yeah, I did have a little of SCTV.
There's still time to finish it. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope there's a lot more time for us to do these things.
Exactly. And Boxing Day is no joke. You're right, Gilda Costa.
It's no joke.
Right.
That's right. Now, is it? Usually, it's like what you just return stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's another day. It's another day to buy stuff, and yet I guess
you're just
like
returning the stuff you got for Christmas, right?
Black
That's how
Friday of the day after Christmas stuff.
Yeah. That's what it's really, and that's
another
what
bank
Boxing
holiday.
Day's all about, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, that's right. We should do a Canadian.
Sally is
Boxing Day.
Canadian? No, Sally is like a little bit everything. That's what I think about Sally.
This part's Canadian.
Yeah,
this part's Sicilian.
Exactly. She's got a little bit of everything. She's like a Heinz 57.
True.
She belongs to the world, and vice versa.
Depends on what I have to sew together when something falls off.
Yes, right, exactly.
The flavor of the moment.
Yeah. Sally is a dead Canadian soccer mom. I don't know. In spirit, perhaps.
Maybe in spirit.
Yeah.
But don't have a minivan.
You don't have a minivan?
No.
No.
Ooh, Boxing Day is one of the half-price chocolate days.
Interesting.
Is that like day after Halloween?
What is the worst? What's the worst candy holiday? Because I'll go first. Easter. It sucks. Okay. Now, which one do you think is the worst candy holiday? Which holiday has the cheapest, chalkiest, worst candy? Period.
Okay. I think Christmas chocolates are not.
Yeah, I think Halloween has the best. I think Halloween's the best candy holiday. I mean, a little biased, but I feel like Halloween is the best. Oh, Valentine's Day has some pretty bad candy.
It has those cherry cordial things. Who eats cherry cordials?
No, and like those the conversation hearts taste like Necco
dusty Neccos, yeah,
wafers.
Yeah, thick Necco wafers.
And the those red hot heart things aren't so great either. So yeah, I would say that Valentine's Day doesn't have a lot of great candy.
Thanksgiving candy's no good either.
Thanksgiving candy.
It's turkey flavored chocolate. It just doesn't go over well. Turkey flavored chocolate.
Flavored candy corns.
Yeah, peanut butter stuffing. No, it just doesn't work. Not for me. 4th of July Nilla wafers. No.
I love it where it's just like the same candy, but they just make it an egg. I don't know if that makes it necessarily a better candy holiday, but it does sort of, I guess, from a marketing standpoint, it's a good way to get some cheap Reese's peanut butter cups. But it is the same stuff, only it's shaped like an egg.
This is true. Or it could be a kidney, depending if it's a pumpkin, it's a kidney. It's a pumpkin, it's a kidney.
The last box of Valentine's Day conversation hearts I got were all blank. Oh, then it can be whatever you want it to be.
Exactly. Fill in the blank. Oh.
Make it a good one.
Honestly, liked it when Hugh and Aurora hosted together, but she's going to take you. Yeah, well. Yeah.
You liked it.
Talk about when you and Aurora were hosting in Blobfest.
together.
Yes. That was fun. I remember that.
You don't have to. You don't need to be done with Aurora. Aurora is very talented. I don't know if she is any part of the decision making at all.
Yeah, she's
in this.
promoting herself too.
You know, she's got her own character and her own. You know, and if this is an opportunity for her to be a host, that's great. I don't think she has any power in it. I know that you know she's an artist and she has a gig, and good for her.
And she's got her band up there too. The band's hers as well, right?
Yeah, which is, you know, which is a lot to do. I don't know if I had a band, that would be hard to do.
It's a lot to coordinate.
To be present with the audience and have your own band. That would be hard to be a host and then be the musical accompaniment also. But she's definitely super talented. I'm trying to think that if it sounds, Mr. Lobo was just too sexy for Blobfest. Blobfest is a family show. I kind of think that Blobfest is a family show. I kind of feel like my feeling is when you're doing Blobfest, you have to go a little corny. It's not, there is no cynicism in any of it. It's is kind of wholesome. It is kind of goofy. And there's something really wonderful that something like that can exist.
Well, if you try to keep the vibe of the 50s, 60s, you know, if you think about when the Blob was made and when it was released, it is kind of a hokey era, and it's just tacky and fun and quirky. The spirit of the Blob lives within Blobfest, of course, and some of the actors and actresses that are performing on stage.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it campy.
Gotta keep it campy. And camp is hard to do. Camp is hard to do. Let's see here. What are we doing now?
Yes, they do eat KFC on Christmas. It's a big deal in Japan, actually.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a confusion. I think they just think Colonel Sanders is Santa and possibly Jesus.
Probably.
So
That's
it's all sort of confused. But you know, I love fried chicken and mashed potatoes, so count me in.
Any time to eat that stuff. Hey.
I'm a fool for. I think I need the tryptophan or the tyrosine, or there's something in chicken that I'm highly addicted to, because I could make myself a fool for chicken every time. In fact, I started eating meat again because I miss chicken too bad. Is
that why they say fleshies taste like chicken? Because you would definitely taste like chicken. I'm okay. I'm at peace with that.
Chicken flavored fleshies. I always wanted to do a sketch. Here's the sketch. Okay, so there's a campfire. There's a bunch of old timers. They're around the campfire, and you know, some of them look like they've hunted all kinds of weird animals, and they've done all sorts of stuff. And it's like, oh, you ever eat snake? Oh yeah, snake. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's it taste like? Oh, well, it tastes like chicken. Tastes like chicken. And what about eel? Oh yeah, tastes like chicken. Right. And then there's like, it just keeps going down. What, alligator? Oh yeah, it tastes like chicken.
Fishy chicken.
And then like I'm trying to think of stranger animals though.
Zebra, gazelle,
whatever. Zebra, camel. Gazelle. It just gets weirder and weirder and weirder, right? And they're all like, oh yeah, it tastes like chicken. Oh wow, it also tastes like chicken. And they're all having this conversation, right? And then right at that moment, a hen wanders into their little camp out, and then they stand up and freak out. Go, what the hell is that?
They all run away.
And they all run away.
Good night, XX.
Who's going? What is it?
It's somebody saying good night. XXI.
Good night. XXX. Yes. Well, again, this is just a low key thing. You're all welcome to check out. I mean, at any time, we're just saying goodbye to everybody, and we're saying hello to some of you too, because we are going to be traveling. We're going to be going across the country. We'll be in Wyoming. We'll be in probably Ohio. We'll probably be in Michigan. Maybe we'll be in Wisconsin. We'll be on the eastern part of Pennsylvania that we're usually not on. I'll be out in California. We'll probably cut across Nevada. We'll be in LA.
You should go to Roswell.
Yeah, boy.
It's a fun place.
Gosh, I see we're talking about going to Vegas, but then we'd have to, I don't know. If there's some opportunities, we'll go more places. If we don't run out of money, we'll spend more time coming back and maybe try to see more of you. But We're gonna be lucky if we just don't die out there.
Well, if you go to Nevada, you go to Vegas, then you can go up a bit and do Area 54 and Little Alien.
Area 51.
Area 51, sorry, and then Little Alien.
Studio 54.
Studio 54, that's what I'm thinking. But there's another place called Little Alien that you could do that as well. It's not far from
I
Area
have
51.
seen that. I have seen that. I have seen some of the Area 51 stuff or the alien stuff in Nevada when we traveled across the country before.
And Little Alien,
just
it's
come
more
on
like
down.
A big
to
store.
54.
If you know south of the border, Little Alien is kind of like that, but it's really neat inside.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. All right. Good night, Thomas Reed. Sorry you have to take off.
Yeah.
We need a new OSI 74 called Area 54.
Omega Mart. Yes, I forgot about Omega Mart. You need to go there.
Oh, Omega Mart.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's,
Go to
that'll be a
Pahrump
trip in
and
itself.
say hi to George Norrie and Hookers. I don't know if George Norrie is in Pahrump. Like, I feel like that was where Art Bell was.
And I've been to the Pinball Museum. The Mob Museum is good.
So there's a lot of people who want us to do Vegas.
The Neon Museum. You need to go to the Neon Museum at night. That's fabulous.
There are folks advertising for volunteer cannibalism.
I'm okay with that.
Oh boy. I guess whatever happens between a consenting meal and its consumer. All he can tell me is that he worked on the Stealth Fighter.
Ooh, erotic history
He's
museum.
not
They do
very
have
good
that.
at being stealthy if he's going to tell you that.
And the Punk Museum that recently opened.
The Punk Museum.
Yes.
Wow. I love this like organized, curated museum of being completely chaotic. A veterinarian often had to round up cattle that strayed into Area 51. Yeah, you know, a lot of cows. Stuff happens to cows. They might, but maybe they're not. Maybe we're just confusing it. You know, like my friend Josh was saying, maybe these are just how cows ascend into heaven.
That's pretty much. Cows control the horizontal and vertical.
I know I keep creating. I fear Sally ate my brain. Should start creating zombie worlds, but it would be like necros, undead wolf beings, sexy wolf boys from another dimension. Cow rapture, yes. No, my dad's said he could say that because it was declassified, but he still won't give me details. He's 75 and both retired Air Force Master Sergeants. Okay, cool, awesome.
Lobo should do a video from Omega Man. Ooh.
What is it?
Lobo should do a video from Omega Man.
Not from Omega Mart, but Omega Man.
The heart's in the way. I can't see it.
Okay. Oh, should I just show?
Oh,
the
from
Omega Man?
Yeah. Sorry.
I could just show the Omega Man. Well, I can't, but maybe I could. We need to
Maybe
license it.
they might let you have to find out if you could video an Omega Mart. Yeah, sorry, there's a heart there, and I don't have my I don't have my zombie glasses
I could
on.
host Omega Man from Omega Mart, right? Is that how that works? Yeah. If you drive to LA from San Francisco or vice versa, stop at Cheap Thrills Records in San Luis Obispo. That's a good idea. I'd like to stop by and see Huey. Maybe we could film some of Huey for the episode.
Marfa Lights in Texas. I don't know if I'm familiar with
San Jose.
In San Jose?
Well, that's where Dale is.
Oh, okay.
Get a little further on that cat episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of trying to rush to get some shot before we left, but then Jesse got sick and I had only written half of it, and then Aaron's like, "Well, if you haven't written the second half yet, probably isn't smart to film any of the first half." It's like,
yeah,
I guess you're right, Aaron. You're gonna throw that logic at me.
And look, a second on the Neon Museum. Go at night. It's fantastic.
Oh, I haven't seen it at night.
It's fantastic.
Omega Man would definitely want permission before. Omega Mart would want permission before just shooting there. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
definitely.
just have to talk to someone.
Talk to someone. It might get a little funny
You
because a
can
lot of
walk
people go
Huey
in there.
and his dog. So Huey goes for walks.
Ooh.
Maybe Huey can be a prospective producer. Mr. Lobo is trying to get to make a movie. Oh yes. Yeah, Sally and I were talking about a Mr. Lobo movie earlier today too. An anthology, maybe that's the way to get into it, is to do an anthology. We could do all the parts and then do the wraparound.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy any local mines to prospect unless you want to film there. Huey walks every night. He loves his dog Coco. Coco the pug, right? Yeah, that was in the credits.
That's so sweet.
Is there anyone in this chat who has not got their Johnny X Blu-ray yet? And of those people, did you get a notification in your email that something is in the mail for you? Yes, and anthology.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. I think anthology would be great because you could almost do like little movie parodies.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, where are all the cool movie parodies? Like, where's the young Frankensteins of today? Where's the Amazon women of the moon of today?
Yeah.
Where's the Blazing Saddles of today, or the they don't have to all be Mel Brooks, the Airplane of today.
National Lampoon. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't have to stop with them.
No,
someone needs to pick up the torch and run with it.
Some good movie parodies.
And pitchforks.
We have not gotten your Johnny X's yet. Okay, well, I'll bring some with me, I guess, for you.
Somewhere in West Texas,
What
the outskirts
the
of Marfa.
Marfa lights are the mysterious lights that appear somewhere in West Texas on the outskirts of Marfa. Marfa, why did you say that name?
Marfa, what are those lights?
they,
Sweet Marfa lights.
Use the knockout punch from Jesse as the anthology opening. Your memory kicks in as you're recovering.
It's like JR in the shower when he wakes up. Ah!
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember anything. No, I don't remember.
Patrick Duffy in the shower.
Yep.
I saw them once with my journalism group. Hilarious, Grumpy Panda. All right, so I guess it's after midnight. We should probably start getting ready to. Why isn't Aaron here yet?
Maybe he fell asleep.
Oh,
I have to call him.
yeah.
Hey, Aaron.
Oh, all right.
Maybe the ghost upstairs got him.
What is Aaron thinking? That's what I want to know. We have to get to the airport.
11:19 over in Texas. Ow. You know, it's
Oh.
12:19 here.
My phone is, because I'm going somewhere, my phone has like been blowing up. I've got all these messages.
9:19. Fine. I hear 9:19. Do I hear 8:19?
Sold.
Sold. I think we're going the wrong way in terms of auction.
That would be a weird auction.
Yeah,
People
right.
just doing less and less money.
100, 90, 99, 60, 60, 60, 50, 50, 50. Oh!
Sold for $1.
Sold for $1. Just like the price is right.
All right, I'm gonna call Aaron. Put him on the phone here.
Aaron.
Maybe you guys can say goodbye to Aaron if he answers.
Yeah.
What? Leave your message. Did he fall asleep? Oh, we don't want
He
his
sent
phone.
you straight to voicemail.
I don't want straight to voicemail. Okay. Straight to voicemail.
You should sneak into the Dugway Proving Grounds in Utah. That's where the real Area
Aaron,
51
are
is.
you awake?
Ooh.
Are you coming back to the studio? What is happening? I'm starting to freak out.
Don't make me come down there.
I'm peeling my own eyeballs out. It's funny because the "don't make me come down there" is in there too.
Area 51, I guess it's, well, as close as I've ever been to Area 51. They have the mailbox, and you can drive down the road.
Well, Area 52 is across the street.
But you can only drive so far down the road before somebody starts to approach you the other way.
Oh.
Yeah, Yeah, you can only go so far, then you have to turn around. It's a smart thing to do that.
Because
they really don't want you down there.
Someone from the armed forces will be greeting you.
Yes, and you can see along, they have the hillsides that they have things staged up there as well, so they're always watching.
Always watching.
That's right. And I think they have uranium mines in the area too. Uranium mines.
Uranium mines and uranium days. Like it or not, are hotter than hot in so many ways. Uranium mines.
uranium mine. Helicopter pier watching our vets round up cattle. Yep, most definitely.
What would freak me out is I go to Area 51 and they greet me as if I'm returning back. We were looking for you. Get back in here.
How dare you?
Yeah.
No dessert for you.
That's right. You're late for your autopsy.
Red dots bouncing off his chest. I almost believe that. Didn't go that far.
Oh no, red dots bouncing from the chest.
Yeah.
One time, Dixie and I, we were watching a haunt. There was a haunt that we were watching. It was all outdoors, and it was between Folsom Zoo and Folsom Prison. And we could hear like the bears and things when we're sleeping in a tent. And then, like, if we just went over that fence, there's a sign there saying, "We will start shooting at you if you climb over this fence." Like right there. We literally were. That was a really interesting place to be. To think that like we could easily get shot or eaten by a bear, depending on what fence we climbed over.
Or shot by a bear, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
When I lived in Frederick, Maryland, out west in Maryland, there was Cunningham Falls, which was in the same area of Camp David. So this will date me a bit, but back when Zombette and Zomboy were young, like I would take them out there and they would climb around on Cunningham Falls. But there are roads that are not marked that go up to Camp David. So I remember driving around and I got a bit lost and I took a road that was unmarked and went up and was immediately escorted back down by black SUVs.
Black
so
SUV.
Sally Pennant was penetrated Camp David.
Oh no. Wow.
It's not marked and you don't want to go far.
Interesting. Wow.
Yes. We'll not forget that. My cell phone didn't work
you
either.
Are a security risk everywhere you go.
I think so. I cause trouble and mayhem everywhere. Shut up just chatting with the gate guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the raid. I forgot about that.
You were listening to Art Bell, and there was that one guy who was at Area 51, and I just remember that episode, like driving in the middle of the night and listening to that and just being so scared that, like, what's going to happen to this guy? Nothing happened to that guy.
It kind of fizzled. Yeah, kind of fizzled. Surprised they let him get that close, but I don't know how long they were allowed to stay.
Yeah.
Kind of ish near to 51. That was how long ago? That was pre-COVID, wasn't
like
that?
That was in the 90s, actually, the Art Bell thing.
Well, no, there was another raid on 51 that was
the raid on 51 was a few years ago. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about
Art Bell was back in the 90s, yeah.
Unimproved. That's why we love you. That's probably about you being a security risk, right? I would assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
America's other space program.
I've been curious about what the leader of the bad girls in your Johnny X episode, the same girl that dressed as Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
At Blobfest.
Right. That is Roxanne. She's been in many episodes now. The story of Roxanne is a simple one. We were trying to get Roxanne's friend, who was Velma at Blobfest. We were trying to get Roxanne's friend to be Amanda to be on Cinema Insomnia. Dixie thought this person is funny, charming. This might be a person that could be in a sketch or something on the show. Initially, that was something that we talked about. And I thought, well, we had mutual friends, we see this person at conventions, but it just never happened. And we could never get Amanda to come out. But we saw Amanda dressed as Velma at Blobfest with Roxanne, who was dressed as Daphne. And we interviewed them at the Blobfest and did a spontaneous improvisational bit where I'm talking to Daphne and Velma from Scooby-Doo. And then after we film it, Roxanne like grabs me by the collar and says, I will be on your show. I will show up. I will be, do any character. Just call me. I will be there. And I thought, oh, well, all right, okay. So I set up a time for Roxanne to come out. And this is before we had the studio. It was just our house.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, was it Paul who filmed it? I don't remember now.
Oh,
but it was me and Paul, or it might have been me and Aaron.
How long ago was that?
But this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So then Roxanne shows up a day early, an entire day early. Like she was so nervous that she forgot what day she was supposed to be
Nervous and
there.
excited, probably. Yeah.
Nervous and excited. So she shows up a day early. We have nothing for her. And so I said, well, what do you do? Well, I do a Carol Channing. Okay. Well, we're going to write Carol Channing into this episode. And I sat there and I wrote some material for her for the Xenia episode as Carol Channing. And then I said, I've got some other characters I'd like you to try. I have this censor, the self-censor, Gail Withers Johnson.
There's a knock at the
door. We had
door.
her in Day of the Triffids as Gail Withers Johnson. And then we had Roxanne as the Horse and Milking Gal, and we filmed her as that. And then we had Roxanne as Exeter in the Visitants episode. And then we had Roxanne as the voice of Abacus. And then we had Roxanne, can I stop now? So Roxanne proved herself to be very talented.
Invaluable.
Invaluable. I feel like I haven't even said all her characters. Oh, she was Anya Ormsby in the children... Shouldn't play with dead things.
She was good then.
And she was in the Girl Gang, yes. And then finally she was in the Girl Gang. The Bulleteers was the name of the Girl Gang.
Yes.
I know she has that's her actual name.
Oh,
I can't remember.
right. That's right. They all have fun. I think she was Leather Lady?
I think she's
Leather Lady.
Yeah.
They all had double names, so it was the different alliterations with the different names.
Everyone says hi, Aaron.
And yes, it is the same person. That Roxanne is the Daphne. That was her first appearance. First thing I ever did. We saw the very first thing I ever did. First day I met her.
Mm-hmm.
You saw on film or on video in that episode. And to her credit, she did show up. She was good. She had some acting chops.
Yes.
And it just shows you never know where you're going to find a talented person, and sometimes it's not the person you're looking for. Yeah. When they say showing up is 90% of show business.
Exactly, and she shows up every time. She does.
She shows up. And Jessie, similar story with Jessie. Jessie wanted to be a model. She wanted to be an actress. She was a friend of Dixie's, and people kept not showing up. And we say, Jessie, can you be a real 7 girl again? We kept changing wigs and stuff on her. And Aaron would be editing the episode, and it's like, okay, well, who's this real 7 girl? I'm like, well, that's Jessie as another person. It's like, yeah, okay, but that's real 7 girl who was Jessie as another person. No, that's also Jessie as another person.
What's funny is fairly recent on one of them where it was credited under the characters of the real 7 girl, not Jessie still, right? I think it was when we redid I Bury the Living. I had to go and actually credit Jessie. It was originally credited as whatever
her character as the real 7 girl was. Yeah, it's funny because the real 7 girl, the function of it was supposed to be able to be a revolving door of bringing a lot of different actresses into the show, but we just had no luck getting, unlike some horror hosts, I have no luck bringing women into the show, at least at that time. Now I feel like we have the opposite direction, where it's like it's all these amazing women.
That's right.
And like not a lot of fellas showing up. I'm always dragging Aaron in to do extra characters because we don't have enough fellas. Wait, are Aaron and Mr. Lobo flying the same class? Is Mr. Lobo making Aaron fly standing up?
Actually,
with
Aaron's
his
going to be
arm
in
in
the
the
cargo
strap?
bay with the puppies and the kitties.
That's yeah, he'd be happier there probably. Was Dixie home?
Tried to find, but
Oh, it's here.
oh, it's here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You see it where she was house from now on.
I think I saw it and brought it to the studio.
Okay. I didn't realize you had it, so I was gonna bring it. 'Cause I thought
We never had a convetion about it, so I'm sorry. I brought it here.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron is Park Gremlin. I think he would sit on the wing. There it is. I see it. You could be William Shatner. Look all
I
sweaty.
got a text from Aaron saying I'm outside.
Excellent.
What the? Who are you?
What?
Who are
It's
you?
the doppelganger.
Aaron's tulpa is over here. And then there's another one outside. Do we open the door for the other Aaron?
You can figure out which one we like better.
Choices. All right. Dance for me, Aaron number 2. Knuckle Danger. That's a hilarious name. Knuckle Dragger would even be funnier.
Knuckle Dragger.
I worked it from copper wire and lunched down the block in the way to configuring routers and switches for huge military networks. Interesting. It was quite an interesting career. Wow, Kraz. Interesting. Copper wire. A pod person. Yes, indeed. Security of one of the gates, and the contractor asked me, what if the zombie apocalypse happened right now? Deadpan expression, I said, I do face to badge. The contractor gave me this weird expression until I chucked a thumb at the building and concluded, but from in there. All right. Good enough.
That could work.
I think you already posted that story, but thank you for posting it again.
Children shouldn't play with dead things is one of my all-time faves. Orville is always ready to party.
Orville is always ready to party. Have
Yes.
you seen our version of it? Because I don't think, if you haven't seen our version of Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, you haven't seen it at all.
No.
It's we definitely I guess I feel like we contextualize it in a fun way. Certainly it's great to just watch on its own, but
I have a multi-pass. Does that
whole
count?
different experience on a Cinema Insomnia, I think. What? Multi-pass? Multi-pass.
The Sally could come in, but only if she has a badge. I have a multi-pass.
Oh, multi-pass. Mm-hmm.
Multi-pass.
Lebu
Multi-pass.
Dallas. What if there's a drunk baby who loves the Lord? What does that mean?
It's random thoughts.
Hope Aaron and Mr. Lobo are flying wearing N95 masks. I will bring a mask with me. I don't speak for Aaron though. We have some here by the window, yeah. Definitely planes, you're breathing all the poo-poo. You're breathing everyone's poo gas when you're on an airplane. And I read that somewhere. You're sharing poo gas with everyone else on the plane.
Poo gas.
Yeah.
And don't drink the coffee and tea because that kind of has the same issue. I found that out. I used to drink tea on a plane and then I stopped.
You're getting the poo gas.
The poo liquid. Yeah, sometimes the lines drip, and not to turn anyone off of coffee and tea, but don't drink the coffee or tea
on a plane.
On a plane.
Yes, unless you sneak it in yourself.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I thought Aaron was an emoji everyone uses. Is that Aaron as an emoji? Is that you, Aaron? This emoji? Because that does look like you.
Some random guy laughing.
It does look like a random guy laughing. Could you guys put that emoji up again?
Oh, good. Watched it, and Racha said, found it, content to get caught up one. Okay, so you're gonna watch that version today.
Right here.
Thank you.
That kind of does look like you, though.
It does a little.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is.
What is that supposed to be, Enos Pay? Is
Thank you
that
for
is that a
confounding
is that
us.
an Aaron emoji?
It didn't taste spritey. Unsprite.
Load up on water and snacks in the shop after security before the flight.
Exactly.
I-
It's John Goodman. Is it? I don't know.
It's too
Didn't quite look
expensive.
like John Goodman.
I don't know why people just don't. It's like sort of
You
like
bring your own snacks.
yeah, but I mean, I understand I understand like obviously you're on a plane, you're bored, but I mean, a lot of the times, unless you're flying, like we're flying really long, but I don't understand when people like get on a plane for like
We have a layover.
an hour or 2 hours, and it's like
You have to
you
eat
can go
gobs of
you can
food.
go an hour or 2 hours. You don't have to eat
Don't
anything on the
have to
plane.
eat. I usually get the snacks and just save them for later. So I'm like, I just ate. Put that back.
Same thing with like movies. It's like, oh man, the food's so expensive at the movie. Just don't eat anything at the movies if you don't want to. It's not, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 2 hours.
About that is the movie. For the
Well, yeah,
Concessions, then, the
I
movie,
always buy
yeah.
stuff at the movie theater because the theaters don't make anything off the movies.
If it's a locally owned theater, I will buy at the concession stand.
Yeah,
If
it's a
if it's
good
a
way to-
chain, I don't care.
if it's a good way to support your local movie theater
Yes.
is to buy the concessions. But I mean, if you don't like the price of the concessions, just have dinner just before you go to the movie.
Exactly. And if you're hungry, just wait. Because who wants to get up and go potty
Yeah,
anyway?
yeah.
You do all that eating and drinking.
gosh,
Guess
you-
what's going to
You
happen?
get that? I mean, your bladder only holds 16 ounces. You get the whole belly buster freaking
Super size,
49
49.5 ounce.
49.5 ounce drink, and like you're not gonna make it through the whole movie and nothing but the movie with
That's right.
that.
Let's all go to
The
the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all
I
go
miss
to the...
double features. Now, double features are great because
Yeah.
you get maybe you get a little bit of food before the first movie. You watch the first movie. You use the bathroom, eat whatever. Then you go watch the second movie.
But that's a drive-in. I mean, you could
Yeah.
plan an entire evening
Yeah,
at a drive-in.
yeah.
And, hey, like Mahoning or
Yeah.
Shankweiler's, the food's not that expensive.
No.
You just bring a car
And-
full of people and have fun for the evening.
And that's like camping for nerds. I
Mm-hmm.
like when and that's usually it's a movie I've already seen before, and so I like to just walk around, take in the whole evening, talk with people,
Yeah.
hang out at the snack bar.
If they have a play set, play on the play set.
and
I don't think they have those
fall
anymore.
down the slide, and break your neck,
Yeah.
all that stuff. How many people have slipped and fallen on the slide at the drive-in? Almost died. What is it with the slide at the drive-in? I guess it gets wet, right? The condensation. I don't know. It's nighttime. You're not supposed to
It's
be on the
metal
slide.
at night is not safe because you not only do you slide down, but zoom.
Bam!
And
Smash!
it's not so much the descent, it's the landing.
Oh.
And swinging on the swings and maybe
Your
one of the
son
chains
peed-
break.
Your son peed behind the seats at Avatar 1. Oh my gosh. I feel sorry for him because he went to go see Avatar 1.
Well, he's looking
A future as a film critic? Hilarious. Yes, because of the night dew, the slides are slippery. Yeah. Airport is overpriced too, but at least on the ground you have your full sense of taste and smell. Ozone and being pressurized to 10,000 feet dulls it on a plane. Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess
it
that why
does,
airplane
actually.
food isn't very good is because partially because of that.
Probably.
Interesting.
Most likely. So there's no point in eating.
I just wish they'd still give me peanuts because of people with allergies, they don't offer peanuts on planes often anymore.
You have to ask for it. So that usually it's just pretzels or cookies. But again, if they give it
Some
to me, I'm
places
putting it
just
away
don't
for
even
later.
have it for an option. Some
That's
places
true.
don't have peanuts anymore for an option.
Avatar 1
Pretzels.
peed on us. I don't know if I necessarily agree or disagree with that. They get peed on a lot of people.
I don't know how to talk about Avatar. I just don't understand how did we get a sequel to Avatar, and then we're getting what, 4 more?
If it's like it's stuck to the wall, so they decided to make more.
Avatar 1 and Avatar 2, the highest grossing and second highest grossing film of all time.
How are they the highest grossing and second highest grossing film of all time, and they have zero cultural impact?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in a conversation about those movies.
There's a fair amount of people that I've asked them.
I haven't seen it. I've seen them, but I've seen it once. I don't think I'd go back again.
I mean, I don't want to disparage it. There aren't bad movies.
It's
just
good.
Misunderstood, of course. But
yeah.
It is interesting to me how it must be. I guess because it's mainstreamed or something. Because I just feel like the people that I talk to never talk about that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never seen anyone in a Avatar Halloween costume. Or a cosplayer.
No, well, the tail would be amazing though. How would you hold it up?
I don't know. I'm not saying that makes it invalid, but I do find it fascinating that it made so much damn money, and it sort of it doesn't seem to have that much cultural footprint.
No, I think a lot of people went just out of curiosity. Yeah. So the first week or two was probably huge money, and then 2 weeks later. It's in the second run theaters.
Is it the special sauce of movies where it's not objectionable enough to scrape off your burger?
Maybe.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, whatever, right? And that's enough because it doesn't matter because they're buying that burger, so it doesn't matter if they won't scrape that secret sauce off. So it doesn't have to be good.
Yeah.
It just has to make money.
It's adequate. How's that?
Yep. The only conversation I had about Avatar was about using the papyrus font in the titles. Yeah, there's a whole bit about that. No, wait, we did talk about how the film just ripped off the painter Roger Dean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of like an album cover, I guess. But first of all, are there some quiet people who I'm hurting their feelings dishing on Avatar? I don't want, if this is your moment to say, hey, Avatar was awesome, I love that, it's my favorite movie, I want to hear that, I want to know that person exists. So if you're out there, please straighten me out.
If you're a closet Avatar fan, come on out and tell us.
Yeah, come on out here
wonderful
with your long blue ears and tell us about it.
Honestly, that would make more sense to us.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Right. I can finally start shutting up about it.
Yes.
Or bring it up whenever somebody else is talking.
Yeah. Avatar sucked and it was a Pocahontas ripoff. I kind of think it was like a big budget Fern Gully.
Yeah, I agree. It really was.
Dances with Smurfs.
Dances with supersized Smurfs.
Oh, God. As a self-admitted sci-fi nerd, I did not care for it. Okay. Strange take on the Smurfs. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked Avatar, but it could have been better. So much better. Interesting. The 3D in Avatar was the best I had seen and helped kick off a lot of 3D movies on TV displays, which failed.
Yes.
Yes. I never really watched it, but saw snippets of it.
Didn't miss much. No.
And maybe that's it, is that it's just an experience, right? You go and see it on IMAX, you see it in 3D, and that's the experience. You have that experience, and it's something you take your kids and your grandma and your grandpa and your uncles and you, whatever. You go digest your Boxing Day meal.
That's right.
You all go together to the movies, and it's not objectionable enough for anyone to say, no, I don't want to see that. But back to the double feature. As a film fan, I like and miss that. I think we were robbed because Grindhouse could have caused a cultural revolution, and I feel like they didn't want it to, because
too underground.
First of all, you got 2 movies emulating 1970s movies. You had Planet Terror, which is how we remember those movies in the 70s. And we have Death Proof, which is how those movies actually were.
Yes.
At the drive-in. And you have both of those together with the trailers in the middle. And the problem is that movies that are in double features, they know they're going to be in a double feature. There's the A movie and the B movie
and the Z movie.
And so those movies weren't very long. A lot of those movies in the 60s that were going to drive-ins and grindhouses were 65 minutes, 75 minutes, 85 minutes long maximum. And they were made cheap, and they were exploitation films. What does that mean? You're exploiting an interest of the audience. If there's something that the audience wants that you're giving them, it doesn't have stars, it isn't bombastic, it's just like you are exploiting an interest. You know, if beach parties are big, you do a beach party movie.
Kung Fu,
if Kung Fu's
Western.
big, exactly. So you've got your monsters, whatever it is. So you that's your star, is the subject matter. Your subject matter is your star.
And I agree, Planet Terror and Death Proof were too long.
And that's what I'm getting to, is that you had these guys make two overly long, big budgeted movies and put them together in a double feature. And then it made $12 million on a $200 million investment. Okay. 80 to $100 million to make it, and another $1 million in marketing. If they said, okay, Quentin Tarantino, here's $65,000, in 2 weeks, come back with a movie. Robert Rodriguez, if you, here's 65,000, in 2 weeks, come back with a movie. If they went and made a movie like that, slapdash, try and draw the audience in just on subject matter, not put a bunch of stars in it, not spend a lot of money, made that thing for, $1 million, $2 million maximum, and then they had their $12 million opening, they would be dancing in the streets.
Exactly.
And it would have opened up a whole bunch of other independent and lower, that's the thing they don't want, the independent and the lower budgeted films to actually have that status in that place.
Well, they tried to capture the spirit of Grindhouse by overdoing it, by creating this super huge, fantastic, visionary aspect of what they felt it should be if they had money, and completely lost. They completely lost it.
They split them up too.
Yeah, they split it up.
They added like 20.
Yeah, and they were 2 full-length films at that point, and it just didn't work. They just lost
I loved Grindhouse. I saw it at the drive-in. I had a great time watching it, but the potential of it, and we did get a little bit of that potential. Hobo with a Shotgun came from that.
Yes.
Machete came from that. Thanksgiving came from that. So it did kind of, the promise of it trickled out, but it would have been great to see a lot of lower budgeted, exciting, independent movies get made.
Some guerrilla shooting, some avant-garde, just come on.
Take a risk. Something we've never seen before.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. What are they saying over there? Mr. Lobo and Sally, hope you're both having a pleasant evening. Carrie and Crow, I hope you're having a pleasant evening.
I hope you're enjoying us. We're just sitting here and chatting with friends. Yes.
I'm going to miss all of you while I'm in my travels, but I will try to keep you all in the loop on our Patreon, cinemainsomnia.com Patreon. I'll try to do some posts here from Miss Mitten's phone here on Twitch and YouTube if possible. Also, Aaron is going to film me and we'll upload those videos. Maybe Paul will show some of those videos. Paul will be here on Saturdays trying to stream to both YouTube and Twitch. And then Sally is going to show up on the 18th and the 25th and keep the stream going while I'm doing my work, while Daddy's working out in California.
It'll be the bull in the china shop. Yay! I'm so excited.
And then I'll have no fans when I come back. They'll all
They'll
be
be all-
Paul's fans and Sally's fans.
In the corner crying.
Mhm.
We're traumatized. He's back. What did you do to us? Truck. Goiter.
Goiter. All right. Well, I guess we should probably get ready. Sally's going to take us to the airport. And I don't think you're going to take us to the airport in your current state.
No. I'm going to have to de-Sally just a scooch.
Oh, but it would be glorious, though.
I would get so many stares. It'd be almost worth it. But I'd be too tired to take it off when I get home.
Los Altos this Saturday. That's right. Psychotronic Film Show. Come see Mr. Lobo. And if you're on the East Coast, come see Sally and Count Gore at the AFI Silver Spring, Maryland.
We'll be there.
Or if you're going to be on the internets, hang out with Paul Sanders May 4th for all the Mr. Lobo sci-fi / Star Wars-y material that you can stand, and then some.
And even though Mr. Lobo won't be here, he'll be here. Right
here. Maybe down in the stomach a little bit.
Down in the pit.
Or maybe in the esophagus sometimes. Yep. All right, well, I'm going to set this up to raid Insomnia Theater. Always forget. There we go.
Thank you, Carrion Crow. Thank you.
It's great to see you all, and again, we'll be together again soon enough, doing all the stupid things that we like to do. You want a picture of the pickled alien in Area 51? A group hug? All right, I'll give you a hug. Here we go. Come on, bring it in. Sal, you want to get in here too?
Okay.
Here we go.
Well, I'll be here, but we'll miss Mr. Lobo.
It's a little weird.
My lips are really big on the screen right now.
We're all big fun. We're all family. It's okay. It's going to be all right.
Oh, no,
Hugs.
caught.
Did you get caught?
I
Oh,
got
no,
caught.
you're all right. We all got entangled. But anyhow, I needed a hug. I hope you did too. I'm a little bit verklempt. It's good. I am gonna miss you folks. Miss being in the studio. But we're gonna have a lot of fun out there, and we're gonna get a lot done. So thank you, and all systems go.
Bye.